Overwatch Apex Season 3, energized by Hot 6, Round Robin. Today's matchup, Kongu Panthera, Mighty AOD.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of Apex Season 3. I am Achilles. Joining me on the desk today is Papa Smithy. Papa, how you doing?
I'm feeling fantastic. Finally get to cast some Overwatch with you. It's been about a month, but we're back in Kongu Panthera. More than 1 foot in the door when it comes to making it to the next round, but Mighty AOD, you start crunching the numbers, the most remote of a chance, but hey, still a chance.
Yeah. Need a 3-0 victory here today if Mighty AOD is going to make it into that round of 8. Would be a very big performance for them, given that they just qualified into the league for this season. So very tough ask for them here today, but Kongu Panthera on the other side of the coin looking to finally make it out of the first round robin for the first time since Apex started.
Now, we've always had a Kongu team in the next round going pretty deep. Was Uncia in both Season 1 and Season 2, but this time Uncia's out, and Panthera, the roster that was stacked in a stacked group, beat Rogue last time out. That was the big result. Showed their flexibility. They showed about 8 different strategies through the course of one best of 5 against Rogue, and they've definitely catched the imagination of a lot of fans for multiple reasons. The sailor suits are pretty cute as well.
Yeah.
And in general, have looked really powerful and have kind of innovated the meta in their own ways. They were the first team to actually run the triple support. It was on attack, didn't look that great, but they're always playing, and their DPS duo especially, Birdring and Rascal, are outstanding players.
Yeah, I mean, combining these, this super roster, you'd have to say, for Kongu Panthera has been working out very well, nearly taking down Lunatic High in that first match of the season. Losing with the reverse sweep, pretty crushing way to go, but still a very strong performance, and they have been looking like one of the best teams that we have here in Apex Season 3. So we know that they're going to be moving on, more than likely, out of this group into the round of 8, and from there, we're not sure how far they'll make it, but it seems like these guys are shooting for the stars.
If you guys are wondering, we're actually second last day of the group stage, or the initial group stage, I should say. So we already have 5 teams qualified for the next round. Those 5 teams, Lunatic High, Africa Blue, X6 Gaming, Luxury Watch Blue, and of course, the Global Hope. Team Envious already qualified. By the end of today, that number's at 7, and one final team will be decided next week. Feels like we're kind of sure, because again, next week's another one of those 3-0 or bust situations.
Yeah, and it's Rhinos Gaming Wings that need to get the 3-0.
That's true, so unlikely, but we're so close already. It feels like Apex just started, and yeah, we do have that confirmation. So Group B already decided. We're going to get through some further groups, so A and C will be decided today.
Yeah, so going to be locking down the final couple teams here, and then we'll wait till Tuesday to figure out what our 8th final team is going to be for that round of. And then we'll get into the playoffs. Maybe that's when things start getting interesting.
And if Kongu Panthera, as predicted, go through in second spot, they are definitely going to be one of the teams that have to choose their opponent, which will happen at the end of Tuesday's broadcast, will want to avoid. X6 Gaming, maybe you'll consider picking them, but Kongu Panthera and potentially a team like Meta Athena are the teams that you're going to be like, whoa, okay, this is not where I want to start my next round at.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned X6, but also, one of the teams that we're going to see in our second match, whichever qualifies, the winner will take it no matter what the scoreline. MVP Space and Convox Spirit likely going to be, the second choice underneath X6 for those first place teams moving into the round of 8.
Unless you take the runaway approach, and I want to take the strongest team right now, get as much practice as possible. There's different ways you can approach the group draw, but the power level of the teams feels like there's going to be 2 different sides of the coin. 2 teams that really could go very far in this tournament, and 2 teams that are more likely to leave in the second group stage.
Yeah, already had, a lot of teams that we expected from Season 2 making it forward. Rogue coming in, hot and looking like they were going to be the best hope for North America, for the West, I should say, as well, since they're all French, to progress beyond the group
North
stage.
American team, Achilles.
Yeah, North American team through and through. But, Runaway as well, one of those teams that didn't qualify to go forward. So some upsets that we've already seen here, and potential for another one here today if Mighty AOD can show up.
I think that's one that we kind of have to downplay. A 3-0 over Kongu Panthera would be a star-making performance for Mighty AOD, but I think there's intrigue in both matches. The second match is straightforward. Winner goes through to the next round. So super high stakes between MVP Space and Combox Spirit, but my excitement is really around Kongdu Panthera because they really captured imaginations with all their different strategies. The statistic was they had 24 different heroes played over the course of that series against Rogue, who famously are pretty inflexible. And just confirmation here, the red results mean that you go through and you see 5 out of 6 outcomes do mean that Kongdu Panthera goes through to the next stage.
Yeah, so odds very much stacked against Mighty. They'd have to have the performance of a lifetime to make it through, so very likely that Kongdu Panthera are already set and looking forward to that round of 8. Might have even started the preparations for it, because Mighty, they haven't looked that great. Taking that one map off of Rogue on the 2-point capture, we saw that happen, but from there, nothing really came from their performances.
Yeah, they took a map off Lunatic High as well. It's worth noting. That was on Control Point, so Control Point will be the start of this necessary 3-0 for Mighty AOD, so definitely going to be some hype, at least about the first map. And again, just the flexibility of Kongdu Panthera, specifically around their DPS duo, who feel like they've mastered basically every offensive hero between the two of them, is going to be super fun to track. And I feel like that flexibility, you don't know what you're going to see map to map against Kongdu Panthera, so the idea of 3-0ing them feels like madness.
Yeah, I mean, we'll make it interesting. For every map that Mighty AOD takes, I'll unbutton one more on my shirt.
Oh, that's risky.
I'll already give you a free one right now. We'll see how low it can go.
We're starting it spicy right here. That's a lot of faith in our sailor friends.
Yeah, it is. You know, I'm expecting them to sail off into the sunset, have their victory, and move on to the round of 8.
Just to let you guys know, it actually is quite hot here.
I
very wearing a jacket.
I very well could end up shirtless by the end of this, so I'll just have to really kind of like do this to contain everything, because I don't know if the audience is ready for it.
Keep the manlyhood in there.
Yeah.
Really is.
I haven't been to the gym, so we're going to try to keep that under wraps as much as possible and spare you all, but I will uphold my end of the bargain.
Okay, well, I think, you're probably going to get to be quite conservative. And again, it is actually really hot here, so it's kind of a win-win situation.
This is true.
I mean, you're not going to get to hide your shame, but you're going to be a bit cooler.
That's true. It's a lot of shame to be hidden. I need every button on this shirt in order to keep that all under wraps. Oh, dear. Well, it's going to be an interesting day for sure.
It is.
You've already
you spiced it up already. Usually I'm the one raising the stakes, but this time you are raising the stakes. We see some of our fans, definitely fans of Mighty AOD and Kongdu Panthera in the audience.
I have no idea what that image is.
I mean, it is a sailor.
It looks like a kimchi pot with a face on it.
Look at the AOD fans. They're very colorful.
Yeah, a nice little Widowmaker you got going on there, as well as the Hanzo, which I don't think we're going to be seeing outside of that opening shot for the Sonic
And to let you guys know, on the topic of Hanzo, the May 23rd patch is still not live.
Yes.
We're expecting it's probably going to be, at this point, going to be in the next round. I imagine that we're going to have today and Tuesday both on the old patch of the Hanzo changes, the Soldier nerf. Those changes are not live today, so we're still on a couple of weeks ago, like about 3 weeks outdated compared to the live server.
Yeah, so we'll be moving on to those changes in due time. Yep. We'll definitely see them before the duration of this tournament is up. But, yeah, some really good artwork coming out of the audience today.
These guys are faithful, honestly. It's not just the Lunatic High fans who definitely can be heard in their number. You don't need to be able to see them to know how popular they can be. Everyone's here to catch some Overwatch. Just Pikachu's wearing glasses.
Can only imagine how crazy it would be the final in Busan if Lunatic High makes it all the way to the end of that one, just screaming across that beach.
I mean, Overwatch on the beach already super hype, but it's kind of a Blizzard tradition too, as well. If you think about it, Hearthstone has been on the beach, StarCraft 2 on the beach. People are singing.
They are. The entire audience is singing, and I'm not sure
it's someone's
what
birthday.
For, but yeah, likely a birthday or maybe even a player anniversary.
We've had a lot of player birthdays. I don't remember the fans singing.
That's true. That's a first for me. So, all right, well, they're stepping up their game. It's a Friday.
You're
here to party.
Your shirt there, singing.
It's
everything's happening on a Friday in Seoul,
right.
apparently.
We're just popping off already.
And that's before the Overwatch gets done.
That's true. We are not even into the game yet. Not even sure what our first map's going to be.
No one's got it either.
No. Still have to wait to get it. So
wow. That's a lot of...
There's a lot on the horizon for us for this broadcast.
So we're starting strong. We know inevitably it's going to get good, but I think we're almost ready for some words.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead, throw over to a video. We'll hear from the players here today, see how they feel going into this match, especially from the side of Mighty, where it is do or die time.
Do or die and then some.
현재 콩두 판테라의 기세랄까요? 이런 것들이 정말 말릴 수가 없다.
최강이라고 할 수 있는 그런 로그를 잡아내서 분명히 큰 용기가 생겼을 거고 그들에게 강력을 한번 보여줬습니다.
네.
솔직히 3세트에서 졌을 때 약간 루나틱전 생각이 나고 조금 불안하긴 했는데 멘탈 잘 잡고 파이팅하면서 그랬던 것 같아요.
나누는 건 됐어요.
자, 그-
너무 잘못 썼는데요, 페이트!
페이트 있어요.
아니 그
각이는데요.
6개를 몰았었는데.
궁이 6개가 있었는데 아깝게 져가지고 그냥 전적이 아무 말 없었어요. 너무 아까워가지고 2패를 해가지고 너무 불안한 상황이 왔는데 그래도 판테라전을 3대0으로 이기면 저희가 올라갈 수 있는 기회가 있을 거라고 들었습니다. 2부에서는 좋은 성적을 보여줬지만 1부에서는 아직 햇병아리 같은 느낌이라서 많은 연구가 되네요. 딜러진이 센 편이라고 저는 생각하는데 라스칼 버드링 부분 넘어설 수 없다. 제가 겐지만큼은 확실히 밟아드리겠습니다. 판테라는 딜러진 빼고 볼 거 없는 피지컬적으로만 믿고 싸우는 그런 팀인 것 같아요. 저희가 포커싱을 강점으로 두고 딜러들을 빠르게 녹이면 이길 수 있다고 생각합니다. 8강 루나틱이랑 저 판테라가 갈 거라고 생각해요. 마이티도 충분히 센 팀이지만 다시 승강전 준비하셔야 될 것 같아요. 무조건 3대0 노력하겠습니다. 100%. 게임 아직 안 끝났습니다. 햇병아리가 얼마나 무서운지 보여드리겠습니다. 끝까지 긴장하세요.
Well, there you go. Some fighting words being exchanged on both sides. Mighty AOD, you know, they're not sugarcoating it. So they say we have a chance, but that's about it. It's a very slim one. But the plan is going to be focusing out the DPS members of Kongdu Panthera.
And I just love the Overwatch competitive scene because basically everyone predicts 3-0s except for Runaway, who said 3-2 and sadly did not go through. So maybe there's something in predicting 3-0. Both teams do. Someone will inevitably win, but we'll look over to the side of Kongdu Panthera, and the man I want to focus on surprisingly isn't one of Rascal or Birdring, their superstar DPS duo, but Void, who has been perhaps the best D.Va player we've had in Korea. His ability to shut down AKM in that rogue match really separated the two teams. So as a new player coming into the squad this season, he has been a big surprise to me. Has dominated his time on D.Va. Actually switches over to Lucio when Waka Waka goes back to his old flex routes and plays some other heroes, but his D.Va play has been outstanding, and maybe he'll be the one trying to mark Erster in that forecasted Genji versus Genji battle, potentially against Birdring.
Yeah, and that flexibility is something that's been so huge for teams advancing. You know, Rogue being very stubborn, trying to play the same thing over and over again, not really adjusting their hero picks to what was being brought toward them. So that flexibility can really make or break your squad moving into the playoffs.
Yeah, the number I've quoted a couple of times now, 24 swaps for Kongdu Panthera versus 11 for Rogue. So more than 2 times the hero swaps to try and get the right composition down, as the crowd is really on the side of Mighty AOD today. So much to do, a lot of work to do. Like we've said, need a 3-0 or will be eliminated. Is this a wave of a team that will be going down to those Super Week promotions, or the wave of a team on the precipice of a famous victory today?
I mean, everybody likes an underdog story, so the Korean fans here, no different to that. They want to see Mighty AOD show up on the day, give Kongdu Panthera at least a struggle to make it into that round of it.
And Kongdu Panthera called them the little chicks, called them the team that is just not on the same level, which, famous last words sometimes.
Yeah.
If this was a sports movie rated G or PG, we know who would be winning 3-0, so we'll see if it's going to be fact or fiction today. I feel like Korean esports, at least in my experience, has been the harsh realities rather than necessarily the underdog stories, but Mighty AOD, they're going to have to start it up on control and keep it going.
Yeah. Let's see if they can do that. I mean, hearing from Kongdu Panthera, already telling them to prepare for the promotion tournament before Season 4, telling them that, you know what, your DPS are pretty good, but you can't even scratch the surface of Birdring and Rascal. There's a lot on the line here, a lot of embarrassment that could be had at this side of Kongdu Panthera if they don't show up.
And then for Kongdu Panthera, who again, very likely to go through as the second place team, what I'm looking for is, we know they can play a lot of styles. They know that, especially if they win the first map, they don't necessarily have to show many strategies in future maps. So what I want to see is the A game from Kongdu Panthera. One practice strategy Maybe it's triple DPS, maybe it's just the 2-2-2 comp, but I want to see them show us something consistent because we've already seen that with enough time, if they have a huge time bank, they will go through many different strategies and show their flexibility. But there's something about being a generalist and something about actually having an A game. You can definitely surprise people with new compositions, but this should just be a map where they're like, okay, let's win 3-0, not show anything new, and just look clean and practiced on one style of comp.
Yeah, not give up any of their secrets that they might have been working on in the meantime, and especially with the advent of that new patch coming forward, having strategies prepared for that as well, playing on live. You want to keep those contained as long as humanly possible, so we'll see what they bring together. I mean, maybe we'll see, as well, that triple support from them that's been coming very more
Maybe
more
on
consistent.
defense this time. The offense choice on Hanamura was...
That wasn't great.
It was optimistic. They put about 5 minutes into not picking up a point, but...
First time that we saw what happened, and then it turns out defense is the way to go for that.
Yeah, defense on Hollywood has been kind of the real site of the triple support, although even Rogue showed that you can go back once you spot it, change up, and have a chance. We'll see what battleground we're going to. They beat Lunatic High on Lijiang Tower, and they actually get Lijiang Tower randomly assigned today as well. That was a 2-0 victory, with specifically Jae-Hung on the Zenyatta going down at the start of fights. So we'll see if they can do that sort of duty here, taking down Kongdu Panthera. It has to start here for Mighty AOD.
It does. And I mean, this is going to be the conundrum for Mighty moving forward. They say they want to focus out the DPS. We saw how well that worked for people trying to play against Envy. As you focus on Taimu, you're just going to get destroyed by Effect. You focus on Effect, Taimu's there to destroy you as well. So given how good Birdring and Rascal have both been, their synergy as DPS players, it's going to be a very big ask for Mighty AOD.
Yeah, they have such deep pulls, Achilles. They basically, between the two of them, play every offensive hero. The Genji is on the side of Birdring, Rascal is the Pharah player, but they kind of change up from there. So the flexibility is a headache for the best of teams.
All right, well, let's go ahead, waste no more time, dive straight onto our first map of our first set of the day. Kongdu Panthera versus Mighty AOD. Let's go to Lijiang Tower. Hear it right there. The Mighty fans out to play today. Friday evening. So you know what? We're not going to go to the club. We're not going to go to the bar. We're just going to go hang out and watch some nice Overwatch.
And we get to go to Lijiang Tower to open up our day. So far, the hero selections aren't necessarily capturing our imagination. Rascal on the Pharah is always a rare treat. He played it very sparingly in Season 2, but it was the first time I really took note of Rascal's when he popped off really hard on Ilios on the Pharah, and I was like, okay, this guy's Pharah is super strong, and then just looking at statistics, only playing it roughly 8 to 10% of the time. This season has jumped on it a lot more. He's seen quite a lot of Pharmacy. He will be starting with the Pharmacy, Rascal and Luffy on that duo. You look on the side of Mighty AOD, they do have the hit scan from Soldier. We'll see if Zenyatta can help him snipe him out of the sky.
And just rolling with the 2-2-2, but the Discord Orb's going to have to be on point so far now. Urster getting jumped on, throws down that heal field, keeps himself alive, but the boot comes through, and he gets taken down. Rascal with that concussive blast just knocks him right off the map, and already Kongdu Panthera is starting to sweep their way through. The direct hit comes through onto Sleep. They take him down. Birdring, he's just going to be dashing forward, trying to find any stragglers that he could possibly get. Looking for Dame, but
that was actually really nice from that DPS duo killers. They tried to kite back Mighty AOD right next to a spot where you can easily get booped. So even though they were grouped, Birdring dived in on the Tracer just as Rascal shot out his grenade, and that was what allowed them to get the first couple of picks, and from there just pick up both the point and ult percentage. No adaptations from Mighty AOD. They're sticking with the same comp.
Yeah, wrapping around from the flank instead of the front door here, but already bait's going down as Rascal pops that barrage, just firing straight down the hallway. Can't find more kills, but still does chunk out Mighty AOD, and without that Winston, they're going to have to go ahead and kite back, just poke out where they can.
Yeah, Fate thought he could occupy spot alone, but at that time, Thorncott hadn't gone in, so he didn't actually have chance for the defense matrix to eat up all the damage.
Bomb comes down here from Birdring, not quite going to find anything with the explosion, but still managed to take down Karib and Urster when he gets popped out of the mag. That's about the best thing going for Mighty AOD so far. And Kongju Panthera just going to go ahead and maintain complete control over the point, 50% already accrued.
And now Mighty AOD, it seems like they may just be going for a couple of eco pushes into 6 ults, but they already mentioned in the interview that 6 ults wasn't good enough for them on Hollywood, and approaching the point against a Pharmacy who right now have been unharassed is very difficult to pull off.
I mean, Rascal's already nearly got another barrage here, 88% for him. That's going to be the sound barrier coming down from both sides. Rascal's still sitting up in the sky, throws something custom blast. Won't find anything this time around, and now has to get out of dodge. That self-destruct does come through, will not get clipped by that one, and Fate takes out Luffy, so the Pharmacy at least being dismantled at the moment.
That means
as
they
Mighty
have
AOD
no
tries to pile
revive.
in onto the point. Yeah, no revive going to be available, and they're suffering losses. 3 members, 4 now going down. Self-destruct tossed out from the side of Void, but won't find anything for it, and that will finally be the retake by Mighty AOD.
It's 85% on the point. Luffy didn't really have anywhere to go. Rascal had to drop super low, so the big MVP there was actually Thorncut. The positioning of the self-destruct ultimate meant that there was just really no good terrain for them to hide around. Someone had to get sacrificed. Crucially, it was Luffy with the revive up. Now they have to approach the point again, this time without ultimates to defend them, Mighty AOD.
Yeah, Luffy already gets picked off already, which means that Rascal's completely susceptible to getting taken down. Erster goes ahead and snipes him right out of the sky as Mighty AOD just continue posturing forward up around the bridge. Dame going deep. Has that pulse bomb available, but does not need to toss it out quite yet. Can just hold on to this for the next push.
So this time thwarted once again. A Kongdu Panthera. Ultimate's economy definitely small on both sides. Luffy still hasn't been able to use the revive, given that he's been taken down both times. Once again, Rascal opening up. If they get a pick, this is fine, but they're basically taking the same approach down the bridge every time they attack this point.
And this is what we talked about, that flexibility, swapping off the different heroes. That could be the big game changer here, and Kongdu Panthera still sticking through with this Pharmacy. Trying to get the snipe in onto Karif, makes it inside in time, but Burgering's there to back him up. They take him down as Rascal comes up with a double kill. Both supports being
Luffy's
taken
dead
down
also.
inside of Mighty AOD. It's going to be that Primal Rage popped out by Fate as Burgering has to kite back, pick up the health pack, keep himself alive. Mighty AOD suffer a couple losses here. Kongju Panthera throws down that sound barrier to try to stick in, try to get this recap as AOD is now at 73%. Pulse Bomb comes through from Burgering, takes down Fate with it. Sound barrier now coming through from Mighty AOD, and that's going to be the res out from Luffy, keeping everybody pushed forward here as best as possible, and Fisher's going to be the first one to get picked off. 95% didn't quite have that Primal Rage to keep himself alive, and Mighty, they're all in for this one. They want to hold on to this point, force it into the overtime.
Yeah, fight's definitely going towards Mighty. They've got the 2 picks, revive already down. Kongdu Panthera at this point can really only look to delay. It's only 5% for the cap.
Yeah, it's going to be dangerously close here. Kongdu Panthera do have multiple ultimates to work with, including that Primal Rage now from Fisher. Big delay tactic available for them. Self-destruct tossed out here from the side of AOD. Comes up with a kill onto Void as he gets popped out of the mech. The Birdring answers one onto Diam. That's going to be Erster going down. The DPS taken out from the side of Mighty. So sticking into the point is going to be that much more difficult for them. Birdring looking for the pulse bomb in onto the Diva. Won't quite find it. Throws it onto the Winston. Instead takes down Fate.
They just about pick up the point. Really long engagement. Kongdu Panthera down in numbers for the majority, but respawns came through roughly at 96% for Mighty AOD on the capture meter. Got onto the point. Now it's going to be a 9-9 versus 9-9, even if Mighty AOD can actually touch the point for now. Just got the Tracer in there.
Yeah, I'm having the dash through, trying to keep this alive as best as possible. Now the rest of the team getting ready to join forward. Fate already going low, knocked down to about half HP. Nearing that Primal Rage, needs that massive delay tactic for his squad. Void goes forward, tosses out the self-destruct, zoning them off the point, at least for the moment. Actually finds the kill onto the enemy Winston as the sound barrier comes down from Kongju Panthera. Can't quite keep Void alive, he does go down, but still, 5 members sitting forward, multiple ultimates available for them here as Birdring tosses out that pulse bomb, but they might not even need the rest of it as they're getting ready to come through because they're just sweeping right through Mighty AOD. They take them out, keep them off the point, and they'll go ahead and walk away with Guardians.
Yeah, the tools just weren't there for Mighty AOD. Almost held the point, but the time up there and the respawns came through very fatefully for the side of Kongdu Panthera, who were made to work for it. The initial capture was super clean, but then they kind of went down the bridge multiple times, perhaps listening too intently to what we said. There was actually no hero swaps on either side between the two teams, and in the end, the ult economy trying to hold on to the 99% meant that when they reapproached the point, Mighty AOD, they didn't have the resources to actually flip it. So just by a hair, but regardless, first map over to Kongdu Panthera, and if they can take the second map, unfortunately Mighty AOD's time when it comes to actually being able to progress will be over.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned this was going to be the big moment here for Mighty AOD, taking down Lunatic Kai on this King of the Hill style. So if they can't answer right here, tie up the score, force that third map, on to Night Market, then it's just going to be goodbye for their round of 8 hopes.
Kongnu Panthera haven't been opting into the Genji battles. Erster's most played by far has been the Genji, sticking with it. Birdring's happy on the Tracer, Rascal on the Soldier. They will be going Genji-less for now.
Oh, and Kariv's going to be the first one that goes down. Birdring sneaks his way into the backside, takes him out. Discord Orb right in onto Fate as he leaps forward, and he'll go down as well. They do trade one onto Luffy as Ursa picks him up with the Genji play. But still, Mighty AOD suffering heavy losses yet again. And this very well just leads to that first cap through from Kongdu Panthera.
And scenarios like this are one of the reasons why we don't see Genji so much in the meta. It feels like there's multiple different strategies that hold down the Genji, but double hit scan with Zenyatta has been one of the chief strategies to shut down the impact of even the best Genjis in the world, like Huxal and Who Are You. So at this point, Erster is basically going to be eco-pushing till he gets his ultimate, but that means there's going to be free percentage for Kongdu Panthera because they're consistently winning the opening battles.
Right around the back comes Birdring yet again, just hunting down Karib, trying to get the kill. Might even find just both supports here, gets rid of sleep. Pulse Bomb comes through. He'll take him out, pops the mech as well.
Whoa.
That'll just be the kill coming through onto Thorncutter. They'll just leave him in Baby Diva, let him jump off the map perhaps, as they hold on to this point. 35% here, but actually the cap coming through from Mighty AOD. Everybody wrapping around the sidelines, nobody on the point.
Yeah, what we actually missed off screen was that Erster popped the Dragon Blade, and there was significant progress made for him as we were watching a really nice individual highlight reel from Birdring. So they had to give up the point, but like you see, they got significant inroads, and now it's only a last-second contest for Mighty AOD.
Yeah, they're trying to delay their sleep, pushing forward, trying to stop that recap from coming through, but pays for it with his life. Ursa goes down, just keeps on trucking here for Kongdu Panthera.
And that's why reading the action can be difficult in Overwatch, because you saw what we saw so much from Birdring, and yet the cap came through from Mighty AOD, and you're like, wait, what happened elsewhere? Significant progress from Mighty AOD, but with bigger investment, and as you can see, they didn't necessarily have the tank line or any supports to heal up. So when they were only left with a couple at the end, the retake was already pretty inevitable for Kongdu Panthera, and the most concerning thing, it's with 4 ultimates.
Yeah. Luffy, that's going to be the Transcendence being forced out from him right as he picks it up. DM looking for a target for this Pulse Bomb. Doesn't have to toss it out quite yet. There's going to be a sound barrier thrown out here from the side of Kongdu Panthera as Luffy tries to stay alive, still getting just hounded down by DM, and he will fall in the end. As Fisher trades one back onto the enemies and Yada there. Karib. Right now, Mighty AOD getting the recap, pushing forward yet again, 25% accrued for them, and they're just trying to clean up Kongdu Panthera members where they can, get that massive stagger coming through. Pulse Bomb from Birdring, not going to find anything this time around.
Yeah, Kongdu Panthera had to drop off the point to actually try to fight 6v6 and still lost the salvo, so it's almost bonus percentage because as the fight was happening, Mighty AOD were already ticking up and then they won the fight. So we have to now shift our attention to Kongdu Panthera. In a pretty comfortable spot.
And a big thing there was Luffy being forced to use the Transcendence because now the Dragon Blade's available for Erster, so he's going to be that much more susceptible getting taken down. Pulse Bomb comes down. Double kill! Both supports being taken out by DM in just a matter of seconds. Beautiful stick coming through from him. Just takes him out, and that's going to stop any push that Kongdu Panthera was even thinking about.
And those initial percentages with the dual DPS and the dual hit scan are now countered by the fact that they have to push through a Transcendence. We once again will have the 3rd Dragon Blade of the game for Erster available, and still Kongdu Panthera are not making any switches, so without ultimates, I really don't see how they're even going to get onto the point, barring some sort of suicide engage or Birdring touching and inevitably being taken down.
Yeah, this is going to be one hell of a mechanical outplay of Kongdu Panthera. Drag themselves back into
comes
this
the conga
one.
line.
Yeah, pushing forward, Void getting that boop out. It's going to be the Dragon Blade out here from Ursa, just swiping away.
Nothing so
Self-destruct
far.
is thrown down. A little bit of damage there, but finds a kill onto Waka Waka, and now the sound barrier is going to come down from Mighty AOD as they just try to hold firm in this choke point. We'll be leaping back over to the point where now it's 97% accrued for them. Kongdu Panthera going to have to pile in here, but Fisher's already been taken out. Void is still dead. Not going to be able to get back in time for this one. Transcendence coming through. They managed to tag the point just at the last couple seconds here as Luffy desperately tries to keep everybody alive. But still, backs against the wall for Kongdu Panthera, trying to get onto the point, but they just won't be able to do it. Mighty AOD clean them up, and they take control center.
And I guess that's just the innate nature of when you stick with this dual hit scan comp, is that sure, you very often win the initial salvos, but if they are able to retake the point, winning that crucial fight when Luffy initiated with the Transcendence and thus, but didn't actually win the 6v6 when Kongdu Panthera gave up a lot. They gave up positioning on the point to win a 6v6, didn't have a tool up, then they have no Transcendence, then Genji still has ultimate. They could push in so aggressively, and Kongdu Panthera were lucky to even touch the point given they had a Dragon Bladed Genji running at them with over 90% capture. So they just about got there, but in the end it didn't matter. And now suddenly, Mighty AOD have a lifeline. It's still small, it's still faint. We're not on the hype train from Mighty AOD yet. The Kongdu Panthera want to silence them here on Night Market.
There is a pulse here for Mighty AOD, but closing out here would make it stronger. See what's going to happen. So far, not too much changing. Going to be the 2-2-2. Rascal swapping over to the Genji this time around. As Mighty AOD very much keeps things the same. Birdering pushing forward, trying to get on top of that discorded Fate, but won't really be able to find the angle, and Luffy's going to be the first one to fall.
It
So
feels
already,
like
Mighty just sweeping their way through. That should be the first cap for them as it unlocks in 3 seconds.
it feels like a replay of when we saw Night Market versus Lunatic High, because in that map it was all about Ryu Jae Hong on the Zenyatta being taken down by Mighty AOD. We saw Kongdu Panthera try to play a very patient game. They were waiting around the corner, allowing Mighty AOD to get the first positioning on the point, but when they came in, crucially, it was Zenyatta going down first, so they really need to play around Luffy, maybe have Void on a defensive D.Va duty rather than an offensive one, and that's kind of victory over to Mighty AOD, because Void wants to be shutting down Erster.
Yeah. Speaking of Erster there, takes a bit of damage, dashes his way, jumps back up, just trying to build up for that Dragon Blade. 80% already accrued for him. Luffy, yet again, going to be the first one to go down the dash through, takes out Waka Waka, Rascal and Void. Getting knocked out of the mag just means that Kongdu Panthera being halted every single time they try to push forward.
I mean, a lot of fans at home are wondering where triple DPS went, and teams have now realized that D.Va's ability to both perform a shutdown duty on an enemy DPS, but also peel for supports like Zenyatta, who need a lot of help. They're not Ana, who have self-peel. It's equally strong in the front line and the back line, and the back line is being targeted and not defended by Kongdu Panthera.
Now here we go, Mighty AOD, 6 ultimates ready to go. The first one's going to come out as Ursa draws out the Dragon Blade, finds the kill on the Luffy yet again. Waka Waka taken out, both supports going down. See if he can scoop up any more. Fisher does get taken out at the end with the help of the M. And every time Kongdu Panthera tries to push through this choke, they get stomped out.
They're not playing with their supports. We've said it 3 fights in a row. Why are Luffy and Waka Waka allowed to be left out to dry? Now, you could say eco push, and that's what they've been forced into, right? They haven't been able to do anything other than get all their ults, but it might take 6 ults just to take the point once.
Yeah, that's going to be the Transcendence coming through here. Luffy says, you know what, you can't kill me if I have this one rolling. Tries to keep everybody topped up, but yet again, they're not finding that many kills. Sleep goes down, Luffy taken out immediately as soon as that Transcendence ends, and that's going to be Griff answering with one of his own, trying to keep everybody alive. Rascal finally drawing out the Dragon Blade, looking for a couple kills, but the dash away from the M keeps him out of range, and Rascal's just not really going to be able to find anything. In fact, gets taken down by the enemy Genji and Erster.
Yeah, 0 value from that ultimate. Now we're at 98% already. Oh, sorry, the cap was made in all that fighting. Kongdu Panthera have taken their first claim, but it took all 6 ultimates.
Yeah, they finally managed to do it, but even then, not sure how long they're going to hold this one for. Void already using that self-destruct, just try to zone them out. He goes down. And you can see Mighty AOD posturing forward, cleaning up house, will be able to get the cap. Still 4 members dead, waiting to respawn as we go into overtime. Rascal jumping forward, but nothing you can do to mitigate against the Winston, so that should just be it. As Night Market will get finished off, a final tag in from Waka Waka. The rest of the team going to try to stream in here.
Here's D.Va.
Yeah, Void does manage to make it in, has the Discord Orb. Smashing down that right click.
They've got no ultimates for this though, Achilleos. It is really just a conga line 1 by 1.
Pulse bomb thrown out, not going to find anything here for Birdring as he desperately tries to buy time, but the overtime is just ticking down way too fast, and Mighty AOD keep their hopes alive. They take out Lijiang Tower.
The target selection from Mighty AOD is worth commending. Second time on Lijiang, they have taken down a top team, Lunatic High, the previous champions, and Kongdu Panthera, the team that denied Rogue's advances and also in general have been looking very formidable in their own right. Mighty AOD, the fact that they could just take down Luffy and Waka Waka, I think is more about Kongdu Panthera's lack of defensive play around their supports, but also compliments have to go to Mighty AOD. Now, will this be exposed on other map types? That part is left to be decided. It's a bit more transparent when you're making engages in longer fields of battle. But for this fight, at least, Mighty AOD is still alive.
All right, well, Papa, I'm going to need you to confirm I, in fact, am undoing another button on my shirt.
We're getting less and less broadcast appropriate here, Achilleos.
I mean, they won't be able to see it until the beginning of the next set, so... But it is, in fact, undone. So the audience is getting a bit of a treat if they look over here. But already, you can hear that tactical pause is going to be called out by Kongdu Panthera. Just 1 map in.
Yeah, when you hear that music, could, of course, be the substitute as well. But Kongdu Panthera does not have a substitute player. It's probably about calming down his charges and also thinking about which map they want to select for the next round, which hybrid map they want to go to. It's going to be an interesting decision. They tried a couple of strategies, but in general, we're pretty inflexible, we know. It's 1 attempt at the Genji in the final map, And Ersta did win that Genji battle, so maybe finding ways to opt out of the Genji battle, given that Genji has not been a priority for Kongdu Panthera, whereas it has been a pretty staple strategy. 66% of his game time, 2/3 of Ersta's game time is on the Genji. So going to be really interesting to track what they decide as, you know, going for a tactical pause this early lets you know that they want to reset after just one map.
All right, counting, I have 4 more buttons on this shirt.
There's only 3 more maps that can go one way.
This is true, so we'll see how this goes. But I might be holding on by a thread, basically, by the end of this one. But yet, backs against the wall, Kongdu Panthera. A very strong showing from Mighty AOD, but they need to carry that forward into the next maps. And like you said, on a different style, on these, you know, more linear maps rather than just control point, that's when things can get shaken up. DM, beautiful pulse bomb.
Yeah, when you get 2 supports, you know you've done your job as a tracer, and that was just the story. It was how well DM and Ersta were able to occupy the backline and really make things work. So credit to them. Did a lot of work, and it paid off. Waiting to see what they decide here. Of course, after the tactical pause, we will see the map selection. I'm wondering if it will be a Numbani selection for Kongdu Panthera. They've actually played that map quite a bit. They are not a King's Road team like the Lunatic Highs of the world.
Certainly not. Numbani and Eichenwald, the ones that they have their victories on so far this season. So very well could be the selection that we see from them. But like you said, King's Row, more than likely going to be the ones that they want to avoid. We saw Mighty AOD actually put up some fantastic defenses on King's Row during the promotion tournament as well.
Do you just go psychological and choose Hollywood against Mighty AOD, given that was the map where they just needed to push with 6 ultimates and mismanage them horribly? You'll remember, was even discussed in the pre-match interview. So there's
right
a bit of psychological warfare there too, Achilles.
Yeah, that was right in front of Point C. And a pretty disappointing turn of events.
I mean, sometimes we're a bit too simple, because ult economy is, of course, a lot about what we talk about in Overwatch, knowing what tools are available. You'd think, following the logic, that 6 ultimates, everyone presses Q and it works out, but that was the classic counterpoint to that, where the Reflect and just all the defensive tools were too much, and specifically the whole hog getting no value. In general, really misplayed that area, so another possibility there, even if it is quite an amusing one for Kongdu Panthera.
Could see that come out. Kongdu, they're going to have to tighten things up, but a bit wobbly for them so far there outside of Gardens, where even then it was still a bit of a run for their money. We'll see if they can tighten things up, see what their map selection is going to be. Tactical pause completed, music comes back on. It's time to figure out what our second battleground is going to be.
I feel like Numbani and Hollywood are the most likely. I think they'll want to stay away from Kings, or at least based on history. But a lot of the historical 6 months numbers are, of course, a bit misleading for Kongdu Panthera, given that they do have different hero pools than they have in the past. So very interesting to see where Kongdu Panthera want to go. They haven't had to make those selections in their last round, only dropping a single map to Rogue. Now, in a spot they probably didn't expect. They probably came in full of confidence against this team. Eichenwald, Numbani, and Numbani, my first thought, is the ones. It's their best historical map here for the side of Kongdu Panthera. It's always a fun one, because both the defense and offense on Numbani vary a lot. Torbjorn comes out. We've seen all sorts of interesting stuff here. Triple DPS on offense, even during the promotion tournament, was pretty popular. It was one of the first times we saw it before it became a staple strategy during Apex Season 3. So Numbani, so often the site of innovation, and also a map they beat Rogue on, famously switching to the Reinhardt on the final point when Rogue were being inflexible, sticking on the Winston.
We'll see what approach is going to happen here. Torbjorn, I think, on point A on defense is highly likely. You've been seeing that grow and grow in popularity. Something like the Bastion. Maybe that'll wait for the second match. When we
got some chance for some Bastion in the second match, Kilias.
All right, but for now, we are all set to go ahead, jump in onto Numbani. One map up now, Mighty AOD. Need to win this one to keep the hopes alive. 3-0, the only way they move into the round of 8. Let's see if Kongdu Panthera has a rebuttal.
Just about got it there.
Yeah, we got it. It was a kind of declining got it.
Not a memorable one, you know?
It's better than not getting it.
I mean, sometimes you get it and you're willing to tell everyone. You jump in the chat, tell everyone that you got it, but sometimes, you know, it's not the same. Waka Waka on defense here on Kongdu Panthera. Now, of course, they chose the map, which means they don't get to choose attack first, which you saw the percentages before the map started. 64% is certainly a significant advantage for attackers here.
And trending upward for Mighty AOD.
Attacking first seems to be the way to go, but you don't get to have both sides of the coin.
Pick carefully. Kongdu Panthera. Waka Waka seems like he will be going for this. Does he want to go for a really forward position on the turret? Looks like the answer is going to be yes. He's just a little bit too short. There we go, finally gets it.
Hey, a little bit too short. You're just being sizist about Torbjorn.
He got it in the end.
Yeah, the positioning here is not about it being a sustainable spot. It's about getting some ult charge before repositioning. We've seen a lot of points. Usually where you see on screen about now is where we see a lot of the Torbjorns.
Right along that wall.
Genji.
The second spawn point for the
Only
attacking
support
team.
here from Kongdu Panthera is our first visit to Ana for the day. So Luffy will be jumping on his most played for the season and historically.
Yeah, and it's going to be Sleep coming out. Solo Lucio as well. So, interesting changes here, but already DM getting stomped out. They do find a kill on the left.
That's the only
No
support
Gonna
dead.
be there. They're going to be reliant on the heals from Rascal, which is not going to be the best option that you have available, especially when your tank line gets taken out. Bird Ring does go down, but Fisher still quite healthy here on the Winston. Will be able to jump down to the lower side of things and find multiple kills, a triple for him as he finishes off Sleep.
The
So.
casual 3K for a non-ulting, no environmental kill Fisher. Never easy when the dive comp gets your Ana first to actually hold on to a point. But this time Luffy, while he was taken out early, didn't end up being consequential. There's not two healers on the side of Mighty AOD either, as they've gone triple DPS like you were mentioning. It's all about that one coordinated speed up into the big dive, and the first dive has been repelled, and Waka Waka 3/4 of the way to the molten core.
Yeah, nearly has it. Third's going low, however, will get taken out, so it's going to put a bit of a stop there as far as him building up that ult charge reliably. Able to get that pop in on the Thorn Cup. It's going to be the sound barrier coming down from Mighty AOD, keeping everybody topped off, and they're just finding kills. Waka Waka and Luffy both go down. Urster dashing his way to victory. Fisher just popped that Primal Rage off screen, finds a kill on the Thorn Cup, but they're still suffering heavy losses on the side of Kongdu Panthera. Already that first hit coming through here from Mighty as they continue to posture forward. Fate popping his own Primal Rage. They're just cleaning up house here, and Mighty AOD got stopped on the first push, but they get it on the second.
Yeah, this time the dive did happen. There was killing fields in the room just behind the point, meant that there was no way for them to set up once again the healing lines. There's great sight lines on defense for soldiers and Anas alike, but Ana got very little value, and they have a lot of ultimates, but still gave up the point there to Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah, and already swapping off. They have Waka Waka back in onto the Lucio, so going to be keeping things a bit more consistent here with this 2-2-2 as they move forward.
And Mighty AOD, they only have 2 ults, but they can get a big pulse bomb, and they won't be forced to use them, and they want to meter them out. When you only have a couple of ults on the push, if one gets a double kill on supports, that's great. Don't even need it all. Oh wait, speaking of.
Yeah, already Luffy getting taken out here. Dragonblade comes out from Urster as he helps find the kill. And that's going to be the pulse bomb answered from one side, but now the tag visor out from Karif finds a double kill. Fisher and Waka Waka both getting taken out, melted down by Mighty AOD.
Those ults were traded as well. Kongdu Panthera opted into ults, but were not able to get any sort of value out of them. So we're seeing a really good clip in terms of the push here from Mighty AOD. Their ult usage has just been superior to that of Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah, they got taken out very swiftly. Now it's just going to be the divas on either side with the ultimates available. Storm cuts at 98%.
And I want people to note that Kongdu Panthera, while they've been very impressive, it's largely been on attack and not on defense. On defense, we've often seen people like Rascal. You think back to the match against Lunatic High, pushing up too aggressively and getting picked up at the start of a fight on the soldier. So they can definitely lack some of that cohesion. We've already talked about them giving up their supports, and their support's dead again.
Yeah, Celtic Shark's not going to find anything. Luffy does go down, but they're trading back kills here, at least from the side of Kongdu Panthera. 3 dead. Thorncut popped out of the mech. Might as well be dead, as he will get DPS down very swiftly as Void pushes forward, gives them the boop to finish him off. So they finally get the hold, but just in front of point B, and there's still 3 minutes on the clock for Mighty AOD.
This is definitely a spot that favors the defense, though. Very often, the transition from point B to C, one of the best place to defend. You see it so often on King's Row, for example, just before point B is captured. So the big winner here is going to be Rascal, close to the ultimate. No nano visor potential for a while, as Ana's only at 50%, but very difficult to dive the soldier here.
Yeah. Already, though, he's getting jumped on. You see that Kenshi coming in. That's going to be the attack visor drawn out as they just dash around that Winston barrier, but Rascal already gets taken down immediately. Sound barrier not in time to keep him alive, answered from both sides. And They will find Karif here, so a bit of breathing space for Kong
Double!
Panthera. Now the double kill from Void. Make that the triple just about as Thorncut gets popped out of the mech in the end. Mighty AOD yet again gonna get halted, and I mean, Rascal, he suffers, but Void's there to pick up the slack.
And we're definitely seeing more information about Void, because his ability to shut down and play offensive diva clearly is a tier above the more defensive divas that we've seen from other teams. Still did his work there, taking on a double with the self-destruct and also buying time. A solo defense in many ways by the diva. Oscar using his ult to no gain, but Luffy will have the nano boost up for this next fight. 2 more pushes maybe at max for Mighty AOD, but they're starting the first one now.
Luffy already goes down, manages to get that nano boost out in time. Quite see who it landed on, but already 2 pickoffs coming through as Fisher goes down. Ursa with the Dragon Blade finishes them off. Birdring dashing around, tossing out the pulse bomb, trying to get a kill here onto Sleep. Won't quite find as he continues to dash around the payload, keeping himself alive. Void popped out of the mech. Everybody from Kongju Panthera just trying to posture forward, stay on top of this payload, stop it from connecting into point B. It's just 3.3 meters left to go as Birdring dashes around, but Rascal and Void get taken out. Fisher rejoining the squad, does dash forward, already down to about half HP, goes low. He's continuously trying to push forward, but Ursa dashes through, cuts him down, finds Waka Waka as well as Luffy, the triple kill for the Genji player, and that's going to be the completion on point B. 2.5 minutes for Mighty AOD to finish this push.
It was never actually going to be a defense there from Kongju Panthera. They were just looking to delay time. That time bank's at 2.5, and now we're fighting outside spawn.
Already Damia having another pulse bomb, tosses it out, but actually gets eaten up there by Void. The Diva has the defense matrix up in time to go ahead and deny that one.
No Reinhardt on the attack like Rogue struggled with, so the hooks are going to definitely register from Birdring.
Yeah, that's going to be the sound barrier, so Kongju Panthera, they want to push this one forward. They want to shove them back into the spawn as best as possible. Getting ready to come back up here for Birdring, but he has to retreat as a self-destruct comes through. Won't quite have that hook in onto the Dragon Blade, and he gets taken down by Erster. Slices away and finishes him off.
It is the Dragon Blade used just to stop an aggressive defense from Kongju Panthera, so you're not going to be unhappy if you're Kongju Panthera to see the Dragon Blade used.
They'd be unhappy though to see Fisher getting taken out at the end with another pulse bomb, looking for the opening. If he can just find it, pulse bomb comes through. I think he got the stick.
Got
and he
Rascal.
does. Rascal gets taken out yet again with the tac visor popped. A massive opening here for Mighty AOD. They get traded back a couple kills here as Thorncut does go down. Self-destruct tossed out. Finds DM right at the end, but still just meters in front of point C. Minute and a half on the clock, seeming very likely that they can get this completion. You can see swaps coming through as Fisher moves off to Winston, in onto the Reinhardt, and Rascal now over onto that Sombra.
Yeah, Kongju Panthera, one of those unique teams that doesn't have a support player jump onto the Sombra. That's basically been Rascal's spot the entire time. And when you do have some health packs aplenty to defend around, it actually can be pretty potent on this final point. We all know about the ult charge as well, but Rascal's already back on the soldier. They feel like it's necessary.
Yeah, swaps back over, Discord Orb in here. On to Fisher as he goes low. They're desperately trying to keep him alive. They won't be able to do it. And now that's going to be the Dragon Blade coming through yet again as Erster is somewhat blindly swiping away through multiple members of Kongju Panthera, trying to find the kill, but will get taken out by Rascal this time. So a bit of an exchange and a bit of a trade there, but the pulse bomb comes through. Birdring gets taken out. 2 members still dead on the side of Kongju Panthera. Void joining that count as the payload keeps pushing forward. Less than 4 meters to go as they try to hold on. Fisher, he gets the pin, but he's not onto the payload. It's still inching forward. 1.24. Nobody's there. They'll get taken out. The point gets completed. Mighty AOD showing up on the day.
And look, you cannot necessarily criticize them too much. They full completed Numbani, but Numbani is one of the more achievable hybrid maps compared to some of the big frustration points like Eichenwald. Kongju Panthera have not looked great on defense so far this tournament and continue to kind of struggle. Felt like Luffy, especially on point A, was exposed too many times. It was their problem on the control maps. Kind of their problem here again. Attack has usually been where they have shone. They did definitely complete Numbani against Rogue the last time out. They're going to need to show some on-point play there. Not a massive time bank for Mighty AOD, and Kongju Panthera will want to have a sizable one.
Like you said, on attack, where they've excelled the most. 30 seconds. It's a time bank completion there for Mighty AOD. But still, have to go to the distance here for Kongju Panthera if they want to keep their hopes alive.
Defense we can scrutinize a little bit here for the side of Mighty AOD. Would not be surprised to see the Torbjorn return. So close to having that shutdown Molten Core was Waka Waka on
85% when he went down.
He might have even had 100 if he was going to swap off regardless, so I wasn't paying too much attention. But he was so high as the fight started. If you do hold on to it. That buys you a minute often. It's such a strong defensive ultimate. We're not going to see Sleep go for the cheeky advanced one that only got Waka Waka about 10%. I think it was 13% the moment that the fight opened up. So just going to look for a more inflexible one. No Reinhardt's in this meta to potentially defend the Torbjorn turret, so very often we'll go down, and Rascal jumping on the Farah, definitely one of those heroes that can easily dispatch a Torbjorn turret when it's spotted.
Yeah, a couple shots from a distance, especially when boosted up by Luffy. He's moving back over onto the Mercy.
So used to boosted being a negative term in esports.
I know. Every other game, it's a pretty bad one, but when you're in Overwatch, it's actually really good. It's an endearing term.
There's not a true dive comp here from Kong Du Panthera. They're really looking for that aerial supremacy here. The high ground supremacy with
they
the
just
Farah.
now spot that turret, so they will be able to take it out. Sleep only getting about 16% accrued for himself as he goes ahead, rotates over to the other side. Diva's here trying to body block, but he still gets the rockets through to take him out. Kong Du Panthera are going to start posturing forward as best they can, but Luffy gets sniped right out of the sky. Thorncut takes him down. That's going to be Rascal following suit.
Yeah, both of the Pharmacy is down. They've taken down the turret a few times, but that's all the kill feed is really featured on the side of Kong Du Panthera.
Boy manages to get that nice little kill in onto Ursa, just trying to buy some time here onto the point where they nearly have that second tick for themselves. We saw it took 2 pushes for the side of Mighty AOD to get that cap coming through. They will go ahead and start the retreat and try to get out of here safely.
And Mighty AOD have focused on trading up in the fights, which they have, but they haven't had positioning on the point because of this, which is why they gave up 1 free tick. But again, very, very common. You can't just look at the tick meter to know where the fights are going.
Already pushing back forward here. Rascal trying to build up for that barrage as best as he possibly can. Still going to be a ways away in Fate. He's going to go ahead and get that nano boost down as he just starts zapping away, leaping into the sky, trying to find Luffy. Can't quite get the kills. Gets knocked down at half HP. That's going to be the sound barrier coming down. DM already taken out. Fate is going to fall as well as the turrets here from the side of Sleep. He'll go down, accompanying his little mechanical beast. This should just be the cap coming through here for Kong Du Panthera as they clean up.
Yeah, some ultimates available for Mighty, but the drop was gotten by Kong Du Panthera for the first time. Another Torbjorn retiring the short pirate with 100% on the Molten Core. Feels bad.
He wasn't using the pirate skin.
That's true, but he's always a pirate in my opinion.
Well, dash forward, they go ahead and they find Karim, so it's going to be a nice little stagger coming through here for the side of Kong Du Panthera. Plenty of ultimates to work with, and Sleep actually gets taken out by Rascal.
That was just him using the sight lines to shoot where people come through, and the boosted rocket did so much damage that it took down Waka Waka. Again, offense is where Kong Du Panthera have looked strongest. 4 ultimates on the side of Mighty, but no support ults. So someone like Birdering can definitely mess up the backline and stop the inevitable pressure that 4 ultimates usually can put out.
Yeah. Rascal now with this barrage. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and just pop this out for the Tracer, but Dian has the recall, keeps himself safe. In the meantime, Birdering does get a stick in onto Ursa, takes him down with a pulse bomb.
Rascal does die anyway to the Tracer, ironically.
Yeah, not going to be the greatest use of that barrage at all here, and he's still going to be sticking through with the Pharah, so I thought maybe he wanted to use it just so he could get the swap off, but he's going to stick through.
I actually like what he did. It looked questionable, but I think that was actually a defensive rocket barrage to actually be one of the first people on his team to look after the supports. The only reason you open up onto a Tracer is to allow a bit more breathing room for your backline, so I think he was just trying to do a solid for his supports that have really struggled in the first map and a half. It didn't look fancy, but there are definitely times in Overwatch where Genji will jump out just to get support ultimates, and it felt like the Farah was trying to be a defensive tool for his team.
Give him the benefit of the doubt, so all right, well.
Strategic glass half full, Julius.
Nicely observed there, Papa Smithy. Self-destruct comes through here, not going to find anything from the side of Thorncut, just goes back into the back. It's going to be the sound barrier thrown down here by Kong Du Panthera. A big pulse bomb comes through, but not quite going to get the kill onto Luffy or Fisher. They do get topped up. He goes very low, but the healing finally coming through from Waka Waka will keep him safe. And Ursa gets picked off by Birdring. Kong Du Panthera is still going to keep things moving. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to get this completion. Need a larger time bank than Mighty AOD to have that many more, or that higher of odds to get this map completed for themselves and lock them into that round of 8. Waka Waka and Luffy both going down. DM just wreaking havoc onto the supports. Will finally get taken out by Void at a distance, but still, with no supports, no healing, Kong Du Panthera are going to be halted.
Yeah, might need to play this defense very aggressively. They still are refusing to jump on over to the Reinhardt. So someone like Birdring get massive value out of both the whole hog and the hooks. Kong Du Panthera have gone for this comp on attack on point C basically every time. So for now, at least, until the Reinhardt comes out, and there it is. Flate still does feel, use the Primal Rage. Now he will have some moving coverage to stop the hook from just being devastated.
There's There's a lot of work to be done here. Pulse Bomb comes through from DM. Can he get anything for it? Looks like the answer is going to be no. Just a bit of damage. Nothing more than that. No kills coming through. Birdering in the meantime, popping that whole hog, trying to burn through them. That's going to be the Tag Visor with an Nano Boost coming through from Rascal. Quite finding kills. Yep, and it's going to be the Helix Rockets comes through, locks down Erster as he was knocked to the ground. They'll fight a little bit
just
more.
to buy time.
Yeah, and Karev all on his lonesome will get booped off. They're just trying to keep him off the payload so they can get this completion. He'll get taken down. That should be it right here. Let's DM and get on top of it.
0.06 meters.
Not going to get it. There we go. 3 minutes, 34 seconds for Kongdu Panthera.
And you just see how different this team is on offense and defense when they have the license to have both Birdring and Rascal messing up with backlines. Certainly look very strong. They look great. They have great formation, and I think also team comps on offense. But the difference here may be the sort of problem that needs to be focused on in preparation moving on to later levels, because sure, it might work against Mighty AOD, but you have to feel like these defensive frailties will not work against the Lunatic Highs of the world.
Yeah. On defense, Kongdu Panthera, they find themselves, with some stiff opposition from Mighty AOD, but outside of that, when they move over to attack, they just stop their way through.
It's the formation that I think lets them down. Whenever you see supports going down again and again and again, it lets you know they don't have the formation on defense that some teams do. But on offense, when they can really excel individually and also look for the dive, they look much more comfortable. Now, of course, this map isn't over, but Mighty AOD get bumped up to the 1 minute. Huge time bank for Kongdu Panthera. It's a big advantage there, and we get to see if Mighty AOD can get the first push, because they need it. They really need to take point A on the first push and then make it, honestly, most of the way towards point C. Otherwise, you're going to really favor Kongdu.
I mean, it took up 2 shoves last time. Not really going to have that much
Nope.
of a window with a 1 minute time bank, so we'll see what they can get done on the first shove, because it's going to be very limited for them. It's going to be a much more aggressive defense from Kongdu Panthera. Rascal still on the Sphera.
And no big changes from Mighty AOD. Still triple DPS, no Widowmakers or other unique picks to try and snipe away. No Torbjorn from Kongdu.
Probably a blessing here for the side of Kongdu Panthera, but already Waka Waka getting taken out on that
Rascal's
Mercy.
dead too.
Rascal also gets taken out in the Pharmacy comp. This gets absolutely devastated here as Mighty AOD posture forward. They take out Fisher, looking for Void, the last tanky member here available, and he's shoved all the way back off the points of the cap on the first push here from Mighty. Should come through.
Just it felt like Kongdu Panthera was expecting Mighty AOD to vary up their offense just because Rascal and basically the Pharmacy in general were just too far pushed up, died right at the start of the engage. Sure, if you're against some tanks, that might be effective, but Mighty AOD just ran what they ran before and got massive value.
Yeah. Triple DPS ripping right through them. And they'll go ahead, they'll get this cap, but now it's all into overtime on this push. We'll see how long they can stick. We've seen some crazy things in the past. LW Red playing online comes to mind with this.
Yeah, Fisher, if he had the Primal Rage, can sometimes do a solo jump in and displace people as this overtime starts to tick, but he's a long way away from that Primal Rage.
Yeah, but DM's going to get picked off, so the backline going to be that much more safe. Only have to really worry about Ursa at the moment. Birdring has it ready to go, dashes forward, gets that melee hit on the Kareem to take him out. Now Ursa drawing out the Dragon Blade, trying to get this lockdown. Will be able to swipe his way through a kill onto Luffy, but can he get much more than that is going to be the question. They need so much more, and Mighty AOD suffering heavy losses. Nobody on the payload. Almost takes down into that overtime. As you can see, just this Winston and Primal Rage gatekeeping, trying to knock him off as best as he possibly can. Fisher doing so much work, getting so very close. Can't quite find it. They leap back in yet again. Fate tagging it onto the point.
Diva's
and now
back.
the Diva rejoining Thorncut, sticking forward. That's going to be the sound barrier coming through from the side of Kongdu Panthera, but Rascal not alive to receive it. And even with it, Fisher
I think
goes
Mighty
down.
AOD's done it.
Yeah, Birdring, Waka Waka, they both get taken out. This payload is going to keep rolling.
The contest there was so good at the final seconds. Multiple people darting in, but enough time for the Diva respawn, and they even have some space control with the Diva self-destruct. Kongdu Panthera will get to reform right at the end for point B here with some ultimates. The Nano Visor, though, is going to have to do so much work.
I mean, Rascal, he's not had luck with that one so far. We'll see what he can do this time around. Self-destruct being thrown way deep into the back. Double kill! Rascal and Fisher both get taken out. Now the self-destruct use here from the side of Void finds the kill on to sleep. Pops Thorncut out of the mech, but that's about all they've gotten so far. We'll see how long they can keep this contested just 1.56 meters in front of the point. Waka Waka gets taken out. Erster finding the kill. Pulse bomb thrown out from DM. Not going to find the kill. Just gets the pop out onto Void, but he dies immediately after. And now it's all on Erster dashing around.
Can he do it? He does
Desperately
it!
trying to keep this alive. That's going to be a leap forward here from Fisher. All on its lonesome with the backup from Rascal. The only thing that can heal him up at the moment as they try to stop this out. They finally take him down. Sleep and Erster die. They'll hold it, but right in front of point B, Mighty AOD went the distance on overtime.
For the 1 minute timer, that was actually really good stuff from Mighty AOD. Some sick outplays right at the end from Erster, getting a 1v2 with almost no health to spare. And sure, the Winston came in, didn't have anything up, was going to go down, but they're going to have to really be on their attacking best. There's a lot of young talent on the side of Kongdu Panthera, and their loss, their reverse sweep against Lunatic High showed that if it starts to go against them, there can certainly be some question marks about mentality. They already have invested their tactical pause very early. Now, they still are in a great spot. 3 minutes 34 is a much more forgiving time pool, but if this first attack goes awry, if we see some defensive ultimates up for Mighty AOD, your shirt and also Kongdu Panthera's position in the next round suddenly start to come into doubt.
Yeah, I might be shirtless by the end of this, or near shirtless.
Twitch isn't big on shirtless streamers.
This is true. It's all right. I have a jacket over it. So, you know, it's just a
The
flesh.
song goes, you can leave
flesh-colored-
your hat on, Achilles, not you can leave your jacket on.
I don't have a hat, so
We can find one.
I have to
Someone
settle.
in this studio will have a hat.
All right, that's probably true. You go ahead and communicate with them to give me the hat.
Oscar looking at better times. It is Season 2 achievement. Going to be opening up with the pharmacy. Had it on defense, have it on offense as well. Would love a first pick here like he was able to on attack.
Yeah, I mean, if he can go ahead and take out Sleep, you know, that soul support, or the half of the support here's Kareem is on that. Ana yet again, and that would be a massive opening here for the squad as they continue to push forward. DM trying to make some havoc here into the back line, trying to get in onto Luffy, who goes dangerously low. Might have to go ahead and peel back down to just a hair of HP, and he does get taken out in the end. DM opening things up here. The AOD do suffer a loss of Sleep. And that second tick's getting ready to come through. You can see the leap in here from Fate. Goes forward, but it gets taken out immediately.
Yes.
Waka Waka coming up with the kill, and now they're just shoving them back. This should be the cap right here on the first push for Kongju Panthera. Just under 3 minutes to deal with.
Yeah, wasn't impressed with the formation there. Fate jumping in alone. The bubble was never going to be enough against the damage that Kongdu Panthera can put out. Needed Diva to be actually also there with Defense Matrix, but they were caught between identities with Birdring in the backline and Rascal in their own backline, in the backline of Kongdu Panthera. And in the end, it was the first cap, and it's a comfortable time pull, but you never know how much is enough. There's a contest in a moment.
It's a dangerous spot to be in here for Birdring. Has not been spotted yet. Sees Kariv in his
Support
sights.
hunting.
Yeah, wants to dash through, try to get this kill in. But the sleep
Sleep
dart
hits.
comes through. Kariv just turns 90 degrees to the side,
And
takes
Luffy's
him out.
dead.
And Luffy has been killed. DM coming up with that crucial pick here for the side of Mighty AOD as they go ahead, posture forward, straight in on top of this payload, trying to get the stop coming through. Rival Rage does get popped here from the sides.
Fine time.
Fate and Fisher both trying to just smack each other away.
Gets
But the truck
Erster.
finds Erster, of all people, takes out the Genji. So a nice little game there for the side of Kongju Panthera with Void. Pulse Bomb comes through, not going to get anything. Birdring not coming up. Trumps as he would like, but still the payload keeps moving.
A nice grenade there to actually force everyone into the AoE of the Winds. That's the defensive ult there.
Yeah, self-destruct comes down. Fisher's going to go ahead and fall for that one.
Sound barrier is invested though. It's not going to be there for a last second contest, and the payload has pushed during all this action.
Keeps moving forward here. Rascal leaping back up into the sky. Still has Luffy here to back him up. Genji nearly takes him out. Gets him in the end. Actually, Erster just dashing through the air. Takes down that Mercy. Gets hit by Rascal. The direct shot comes through. And still the damage has been done. Luffy going to have to rejoin the squad.
They're still waiting for the formation here, Kongju Panthera. They're trading down because they're waiting for respawns.
Less than 20 meters here now to go. Pulse Bomb yet again not going to stick Birdring. Just
Rascal!
hasn't been able to find these to happen. Rascal throws out the barrage. Defense Matrix comes through for a little bit, but it's still enough time, enough of a window to take out Kariv. Will that be the game changer here, though? That's going to be the nano boost already used in onto Fate before he goes down. Self-destruct from Void, not going to find anything. Re-enters into the mech, Pulse Bomb comes down onto him, but he's still alive. And yet again, another Primal Rage thrown out here by
needs to
Fate.
get more. He
Tries to
doesn't
buy
get it.
time, but Fisher, with his own Primal Rage, takes out Erster. Waka Waka dying to DM, as it's just Fisher against the world right now, smacking everybody away that he possibly can. Void gets popped out of the mech, will get taken down more than likely on the backside of this fight. Maybe they even just leave him out in the Baby Diva form, but just meters in front of this push. All that Kongdu Panthera need to close out Numbani, finally pick up a map, confirm themselves for the round of 8. It's in their sights, but Mighty AOD will not go down without a fight.
Their respawns will get there soon, but we're so close, 1.5 meters.
And they get it. Birdring needs to do some serious work here. Erster's been taken out.
All
Big
alone.
delay tool with him and Sleep both being burned out. And Kriv, he swapped over to the Soldier. There's no heals coming through. Mighty AOD, they get taken down. And Kongdu Panthera, they finally pick up a map and they confirm themselves for the round of 8.
Yeah, the fans cheer as if the match is over. It will still rage on, but the stakes for it have been lowered. No longer can Mighty AOD make it through. 3-0 Mighty AOD was the only result that would confirm their spot into the next round. That's why you can see some sullen faces on the side of Mighty AOD. Kongdu Panthera will feel good about qualifying, but it feels like the question marks around this team that weren't there after their really impressive performance against Rogue are starting to creep in. The tier lists for Apex, who to choose when it comes to your opponent for these first place teams. It felt like, if you asked me yesterday, Kongdu Panthera will be the last possible name. Maybe we need to see Meta Athena to really get a full understanding of where they're at, but Kongdu Panthera do have some holes in their game plan that need to be addressed.
Yeah, for sure. Mighty AOD, to their credit, still putting up one hell of a fight, very much outperforming all of our expectations for these guys here today. So strong showing for them, but unfortunately the round of 8 out of their grasp. They can still give Kongdu Panthera some hell before they move forward.
And what comes next is really up in the air, because now Kongdu Panthera, maybe they will just go super standard. Maybe they'll just show us different Joker picks to surprise people in the future round. You never really know what to expect from Kongdu Panthera. Mighty AOD winning the match is probably going to be difficult for them because a lot of their season is decided.
Yep, certainly is. And that's going to weigh on you mentally. We'll see what happens. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our third map, see who will take a lead in this set.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty AOD, unfortunately, not able to keep their round of 8 hopes alive. Do fall in Nimbani, but hell, they put up a very nice performance there, shoving all the way nearly to point B with just 1 minute in the time bank.
Even those kind words that both of us can give them will be a little bit empty, though, you'd expect Achilles, given that their goal today was the however unlikely 3-0. Also puts the rest of the series in kind of an interesting spot, given that we're not really sure what Kongdu Panthera and Mighty AOD we will see. I think eyes need to be more on Kongdu Panthera. They've not necessarily been at the same level that they were in the first 2 maps today, so they'll feel good that they got the first monkey off the bat. They finally did make it through. They confirmed their spot, but that was already almost guaranteed, right? Neither of us was sitting there being like, yeah, very likely Mighty AOD 3-0.
Oh, for sure.
And yet still, even though we didn't expect much, I still can't help but be a little disappointed about Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah, I mean, they are certainly not putting up the numbers, the performance that you would expect from this team that they're considering to be one of the best in the league right now. You know, they had that air to them in their previous sets, but given this performance, I mean, granted, you know, again, not to discredit Mighty AOD, they are playing extremely well today, but we should expect much more from Kongdu Panthera.
And that's the best thing. The best teams earn high expectations, and it felt like Kongdu Panthera was getting there. Now we'll be jumping on Hanamura. That was the map where Kongdu Panthera had 7 minutes to take the second point and ran triple support on attack for some reason. So they've already shown a flair for the unusual on attack on this map. So going to be interesting to see what we see out of Kongdu Panthera.
Something tells me they won't try that one again, but I guess you never really know. Maybe they'll change things up and, you know, make me eat my words. For now, they're helping me keep my shirt on, so.
They're doing you a solid, Achilles, and the viewers too.
Certainly
Double
mostly
kill.
for the viewers, I would have to say, in the live studio audience. But Hanamura going to be an interesting one for both of these squads. You know, a very polarizing map. You can always get that massive snowball coming through. You get those last few stagger kills right as you cap that point A.
Yeah, the snowball cap on the second point so hard, but that's what we want to look for.
All right, we'll see if they can pull it off. We'll see if Mighty AOD can go ahead and pick up another win, take another button off my shirt. Let's go ahead and get on to Hanamura.
only just getting it.
It's like sliding it right at the end. And the Mighty fans still holding on strong. They say, you know what? We know that they can't make it forward any further than this, but hell, let's go out with a bang. Let's support them as much as possible.
And the cheers, like you say, there is the chance, if they do win this map, they do actually jump to third, but I'm always unsure with how promotion tournaments work when there's Western teams in the same group. I'm going to guess they're probably going to be in promotions whatever happens.
Yeah, not sure what that structure would be like, but still very highly likely either way that they could end up in the promotion tournament. But given the performances that they're showing here today, you can expect that they could very well earn their way back into Apex for another season.
Well, I mean, they've definitely shown more than Flashlocks, our perennial gatekeepers of Promotion Week. It's not necessarily the name. You know, people say that any news is good news and that having a nickname is a good thing. I don't know if the perennial gatekeepers of Promotion's great. As well, everyone's doing a Miro these days.
I don't know if they're the gatekeepers or if they're just the gate itself. They just make sure it's locked.
Well, I mean, the theory is right. You're either better than Flashlocks and thus in Apex or not, and then challenges. So
yeah. Just sounds too prestigious to call them the gatekeepers.
Hey, they got to earn something, okay? With no match wins, they got to earn at least a nickname.
All right, well, we'll give them that at least. Birdring, you're on attack, going to open up with the Widowmaker. Already gets a couple shots through. Senses that there's a Tracer coming by, but won't quite find that hit. Instead, takes a bit of harass from the Genji.
He does kite back, and that means that both DPSs are very overextended.
Yeah, he is very far forward here with this Widowmaker, and Rascal already wreaking havoc, but it's going to be Fisher who picks up the double kill and start things off. Bait and Grip both going down. Birdring does go down in the end. Urster slashes his way through, but Fisher finds another kill.
And Achilles, you see why Widowmaker is so strong. It was not about headshots whatsoever. It's just the mind games. Two people were drawn. Both the Tracer and the Genji exclusively spent the first skirmish chasing after a Widowmaker. And the reputation alone, Birdring is a great Widowmaker, didn't show it there, but it was still super effective. And that's why if the sightlines allow it, Widowmaker is square in the middle of the map.
Well, well, well. They're going to make me eat my words after all.
I told you, man. They're going to go triple support. They want to show this is a viable attack strategy.
They're really going to try to shoehorn their way into this one. So they're going ahead and they'll swap Birdring over onto the Ana. See if they can make it work this time around.
Roscoe was on the Ana last time, if you remember. So it's something different at least.
Trading it up a little bit. Just, sniper to sniper is what they're going for. But already find the kill in onto Urster. Slumpy takes him out. Fisher goes low, pops the Primal Rage, keeps himself alive and on the point, at least for the moment here.
Does mean the supports have to be contested. One's down, though. Luffy's dead.
Yeah, they do get rid of one. See if they can find more. Dashing around here is TM. Ripping through Birdring, almost takes him out. Keeps himself alive, at least here for the moment. Dashes forward. There we go. The melee hit comes through. And actually, it's going to be the Nano Boost in onto the Tracer. Pulse Bomb comes down. That'll pop the mech as the self-destruct does come through here from Void. Not going to find anything for the kills, but actually, Kong Du Panthera will just get cleaned up. Urster using that Dragon Blade comes up with multiple kills and assists.
So let's see if Kong Du Panthera will give this another jolly good try. They put about 4 to 5 minutes into the attack triple DPS. You can kind of see the theory. The theory is the 3 supports are on the high ground and kind of the Lucio's there healing up the other 2, and the sightlines are good for both Zenyatta and the Ana, and it draws the Winston to come up. You kill the Winston, you have some ultimates, you can capture the point. But at some point, the effectiveness at the highest level has to be called into question, although Roscoe Helix rockets Urster, and maybe this is the go time.
That's going to be a big opening here for them if they can capitalize on it. Biotic Grenade comes down here, Birdring trying to keep everybody topped off as they push forward in onto this balcony.
Transcendence is used, Lucky was low.
Yeah, it's going to be the Transcendence coming down, Discord Orb thrown out in onto Fate, keeps himself alive with a Primal Rage, however, still smacking away, trying to get some kills, but not finding too much, and might actually go down for his troubles. And a couple heals coming through now as Rascal gets taken out. DM thrown out. That Pulse Bomb takes him down from the flank. Trying to find a little bit more here. Room on Luffy, but can't quite get it. But this is going to be the full retreat coming through from Kong Du Panthera.
Here's what I'll say. Against a team that doesn't run Genji, I don't mind the triple support, but the fact that Urster is basically Genji only means that between him and DM, someone is always occupying these supports, and they never have the free sightlines to really make the Ana Zenyatta work, and that then Lucio's caught not giving speed to his tanks or his front line. It really does feel a bit haphazard, unless you know for a fact that there's just no main Genji on the enemy team.
I'll see how long they want to stick with it. It's been 2 minutes so far.
I think there's not 2.5 at least. Then they'll go for the sick 1 minute left Zarya swap.
Gotta build up a Graviton Surge. 30 seconds, but here that's gonna be the Nano Boost coming through here from the side. Mighty AOD, but that's gonna be the Attack Visor. And the nano boost here onto Rascal, pushes forward straight into the face of the enemy.
This is
Winston.
definitely a meanwhile at fight.
Yeah,
they lost a
Primal
lot
Rage
there.
comes out yet again. Fate is going to be smacking him into a corner, trying to take him out. Does get him in the end. And Kongju Panthera, they get cleaned up yet again. Fisher's just going to say hello and goodbye, jumps off the map.
All right, well, that was the ult's use, so I think this is the time to mix it up, and they do. The Bird Ring is jumping on the Tracer.
Thank God.
When they did swap off, they were able to actually full push the map. It was an overtime, or at least with a very small time bank, if my memory serves correctly. They still have some good tools here. We'll have the Lucio ult as well. And Ursta's far away from the Dragon Blade, so getting closer and closer to Kongju Panthera. They haven't even got a single tick onto point B.
Have to peel back here. Biotic Grenade denying. Quite a lot of healing coming through. You see though, that's going to
Jamming
be
it down.
Yeah, Posh goes ahead, pops out that Primal Rage, just trying to smack him around as best as he can as he drops down onto the low ground.
All that really did was allow some members to come in because he was never really going to get a kill on that spot. And Luffy's dead again to start off. This has been basically, what, 10 out of 15 skirmishes have been the Zenyatta going down first, if you think about today's games.
Yeah, Luffy, he's been given the Jaehong treatment.
And again,
saw from him
it's
versus
unclear.
Panthera.
My first instinct is this is the team not playing around him, but at some point it becomes pretty hard to evaluate with a bit of VOD review. It's probably usually a bit of both, right, when it comes to the Zenyatta's dying so frequently.
Yeah. Even without a Sombra, I mean, you see that come through, you know that's a big opening there for them, but it's going to be the sound barrier coming down now. Luffy staying alive, has the Transcendence popped as well. They have a kill on to Sleep and Fate as the respawns will start coming through here from Mighty AOD, but multiple kills so they can finally posture forward in onto this point, maybe even get the first tick. Dash forward in on the DM as he keeps himself alive. The sound barrier comes down, and Ursa does get taken out. Waka Waka with a boop, finishes him off. Self-destruct comes through, just find a kill in onto the enemy Lucio here. So it's an opening for Mighty AODs. They try to hold on desperately, and Pereira swapped over onto that Widowmaker to try to open up some ground here for his squad.
The emergencies are already coming from Mighty AOD. Ursta's onto the Mei on the respawn.
And Primal Rage use here just to smack Rascal off. He's going to sprint away as best as he possibly can with that. Winston still pursuing very deep forward. Finish him off, but still a couple members in onto the point, just trying to keep things rolling towards that second tick. They won't be able to get it though. You can see the swap comes through. Ursa now over onto the Mei.
Yeah, he jumped onto the Mei very early in the piece, but we were tracking the Monkey being super mad, smacking around an old man. But on the point, Mighty AOD were able to get the return frags when they came back from the respawn. So all the action was off camera, but Kongju Panthera couldn't stick what was a really good initial attack for them. And now suddenly you're feeling like it has to maybe be an overtime push at best for Kongju.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb comes double again. DM, he does it.
Both supports each
go
time.
down. Luffy and Waka Waka get taken out. Rascal able to get the revenge kill onto DM, but the damage has been done. Kongju Panthera now less than a minute and a half.
You have to wonder if Mighty AOD just did really good VOD reviews, saw the shutdown jobs that Duel was doing and went, okay, if he's always shutting down the enemy DPS, the supports are probably left alone. As I narrate, there is a 2-for-1, but it's kind of a one not really worth discussing.
He gets the Pulse Bomb on a Fate, but he dies in the end from DM, so not too much going on there. Keep pushing forward, but it's really just 3 of them versus the world here for the side of Kongju Panthera. You hear that one come through. It's going to be on the Fates. He just zaps away, trying to find some kills. Self-destruct gets tossed out here from Void. Finds the kill in on the Fate. Actually couldn't drop fast enough to get himself out to safety. Self-destruct finds Rascal as well, so it's going to be kills exchanged on both sides. As Kongju Panthera all try to push forward in onto this point. Respawn starting to come through here for Mighty AODs. They just desperately try to hold on, prevent that third tick from happening. But Kriv and DM both going down. Thorncut joining them as he gets knocked into the mech, and now the sound barrier thrown down here by Kongju Panthera, just trying to keep everybody topped off and safe here onto the point as it keeps rolling, but they haven't quite got that second tick. It's just 15 seconds out from overtime.
Yeah, the Kriv has actually jumped onto the Widowmaker, just an emergency here.
Pulse Bomb finds Ursa, gets rid of that pesky Mei. No delay tactics coming through from that one. Pulse Bomb thrown out from the side of Mighty AOD, doesn't find anything. DM goes down. The Helix Rockets with Rascal up on the high ground, able to take him out. Second tick has been found. Self-destruct zoning him back. And just in front of that completion now into overtime is Kongju Panthera, only losing Luffy so far, and they're still finding kills. It's all on Urster and Sleep, who pops that sound barrier to try to keep himself topped up, but he's just getting booped off the point. That will be the cap here for Kongju Panthera. Finally finish it, but in overtime they had so much in the time bank at the start.
And we said don't show too much, but they jumped straight back onto the triple support on offense on Hanamura that really didn't work when we saw them run it. against Rogue, and here we see it once again not really work at the end of the day. They wasted a lot of time investing into it. In the end, they only got the cap in overtime when once again they had a very nice first point capture. So it feels like the profile of Kongdu Panthera on Hanamura is pretty consistent, and I have to say we saw a lot of double kills onto their supports to lead, so definitely no adjustments in that area either.
Yeah, DM's been on point with these pulse bombs. Coming up big there on Lijiang Tower, now on Hanamura. We'll see how the defense is going to hold up here for Kongdu Panthera. That was the big lackluster thing for them on Nimbani.
But how many times do you have to see the same thing happen and then not actually also say, okay, well, he's done it for the 6th time this game, a pulse bomb in the back line, taking out the back line. There's many different ways you can approach it. Because this season we haven't had a lot of, say, Eska on McCree trying to escort his supports like we saw in previous seasons. Everyone's diving, triple DPS across the road. But at the end of the day, it feels like Kongdu have just been too often taken down in the same manner that we also have to both compliment DM and question Kongdu never adjusting their style.
Yeah. Kind of makes you think of X6 on attack on Temple of Anubis, just running it down left.
Running it down left. It's a new Apex meme, run it down left.
We've had a couple of those.
I mean, the new strategy is the Talon strategy, right? Going for the Sombra and Reaper engage.
Well, he found the sweet spot.
Everyone's got it now. Surely everyone doing it is the time for Blizzard to be like, wait, this is a bit silly.
Hang on. And just finding new ones.
To be fair,
on
he's
every
actually
map.
quite exposed there to something like a Widowmaker. Birdring was on the Widowmaker last time, but he's opening on Tracer this time.
Erster just trying to scout out here. We'll be swapping over to the Widowmaker. No Hanzo feels bad. Maybe on that next patch. Pushing forward, we'll see if he can find any openings where Birdring didn't quite succeed, but the attention drawn was definitely worth it. Already Birdring going down. Griff snipes him out there with this Zenyatta, but they lose DM in the exchange as Rascal dashes his way through, and Erster pushing very far forward here onto the low ground. Just sniping away, containing Kongdu Monster back towards their spawn.
Yeah, Kongdu Panthera don't have position on the point. That's what happens when you have to drop back. They're waiting for a respawn and then for a last-second contest. Here is the contest they were looking for when they gave up the first tick.
Swiping away here, Rascal just throwing out these shurikens, trying to get these kills in, trying to build up for that Dragon Blade as best as he can. 70% so far accrued for him. This Orb comes through, but he's still going to fearlessly dash forward. Helps come up with the kill in onto Kariv, but still second tick being gained here for Mighty AOD. Just a couple seconds away from having that one thrown up. Mercer still sniping away here with the Widowmaker, and Rascal getting jumped on, hounded down by this Primal Raged Winston as Fate just tries to take him out. No health pack there available for them as he tries to win the exchange but won't be able to do so. Fisher goes down off screen. Birdring is trying to clean up where he can. Second tick about to come through, and Erster gets Waka Waka. Mighty AOD looking very strong on the attack.
Yeah, Fate especially did so much work. If you're trading ults with a Genji as a Winston, you're very happy because your backline, and specifically the Widowmaker, is free hitting and not worried about the Genji cleaning them up. So most credit there goes to Fate. Erster had a pretty easy time. No one was coming even meters within his direction, and similarly large time pull here from Mighty AOD. Haven't seen any hero swaps yet, though.
Oh boy.
He wants that pulse bomb. Got it.
He just wants to go ahead and take him out nice and clean with the help of Winston. Should be pretty easy here, so they all go ahead, pile in. That's going to be the Transcendence coming down here as they try to stick forward, wrap around this flank. Him still goes low, has to dash away, get himself out to safety. Looks like he will be able to do so, but Erster off screen cannot say the same before he takes him out. They won't find much ground gain here on the point. Kongdu Panthera holding on tight. But they do get the Primal Rage out. You see Fisher was able to finish off Fate with that.
That means that Mighty AOD can vary up their strategy. We do not often see the Widowmaker on attack on point 2.
Oh,
that was a bit dirty.
Yeah, wrapping around from the side. DM was too focused on getting away from Void, didn't really know where the enemy Tracer was.
So predictably, Mighty AOD not going to be going for triple support on their attack.
But it's the best!
I mean, someone in Kongdu Panthera, it's probably the coach. He seems to be pretty into the idea if they've run it 2 times on the same map.
There's a clause in their contract, so if they don't run it on Hanamura, they get fired.
And 1 Hanzo game a season as well.
Yep. Well, getting jumped on here. Erster has to kite back. Biotic Grenade almost helps take him out. Birdring, just gonna go ahead. Get the casual kill on the Carib. Use that recall to get himself out to safety.
That was a loud scream.
Yeah, that was like a Lunatic High fan.
That should be a soundboard for Lunatic High fans.
Oh dear.
I think we're exaggerating, but we're really not.
You wouldn't be able to discern between any of the different sounds because
That's true.
It's all just shrieking.
They all have the same pitch, you know, the same tone as well. It's like a metronome of some sort.
Yeah, and the tone is shrill.
That is fair. Deserved and fair.
It's like, what key is this in? C? No, it's in shrill.
It's in 12-year-old girls.
All right, well, back onto this high ground flank here. Goes Mighty AOD, but they're getting cleaned up by Rascal. Has the Nano Blade drawn out. Comes up with a triple kill. Kariv, Erster, and Fate all get sliced through. As the DPS here for Kongdu Panthera finally showing up on defense.
Yeah, we have really seen very little of Rascal on Genji. Was the primary Genji player on Panthera last season, although Kongdu Panthera were one of the low-tier teams then. Still have never made it out of groups. This will be their first time out this time. It's been Birdring largely running the Genji, but Rascal gets a triple and reminds us that, hey, if he needs to jump on it, certainly can. Mighty AOD playing around with strategy. They used the self-destruct during that particular push. Might be one of those 6-ult pushes that, sadly for them, more of a black mark in their mentality than anything else.
Don't have a great track record with that, but here we go. DM, yeah, finds his way, sneaks around the side, takes out Waka Waka. Now the jump forward comes through, and Luffy will get taken out.
We've seen that before.
Been taken down here, so Kongdu Panthera going to be very vulnerable, and the sound barrier is out here from the side of Mighty AOD. Self-destruct comes down, not going to find anything here for Ford as he re-enters into the mech, but Fisher with a Primal Rage yet again has taken out Erster, but they lose Rascal. The Genji burned out. DM with the Pulse Bomb gets rid of the Winston. Transcendence has to come through here for Waka Waka off the respawn, just trying to keep them off this point as desperately as possible. First tick still nowhere near taken here with the side of Mighty AOD, but Waka Waka falls yet again. DM just constantly focusing out that Zenyatta.
We see the Zenyatta used actually by Mighty, even when their numbers are low. Seems like a big waste of an ultimate there from Kariv.
Yeah, definitely not going to be the best use there. Does kite his way out, keeps himself alive at least for the moment. I say that Rascal is doing work in the backside. And he goes ahead, finishes him off, so just trying to stagger as much as possible. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. Kongdu Panthera, they want to hold on to this. They do not want to give them the second cap and have to go into that overtime.
And now any threat on the point till we get the Transcends back up, unless Mighty AOD were looking to swap, which they do. Kariv is going to be jumping on the Ana, but I imagine that's more due to the fact that building up a Transcends would have taken a lot of this 2.5-minute time bank, rather than saying that Transcends was pre-planned, although sometimes we're not to know. They do have a soldier, so Nano boost onto him in the next few minutes will be fine, but how long can they really wait before using their tools?
See if they can find it, though, but already Fate being taken out. Birdring and that Pulse Bomb through, helps kill him off. The leap forward comes out from Fisher, jumps in, helps take him out. Sleep and Erster both going to fall. Luffy finding the kill with that biotic grenade. Rascal, a bit too far forward, a bit too deep there, will get taken down. Kariv finds the kill, but yet again, Mighty AOD is getting picked off one at a time. The staggers are burning, it's just, burning up so much of their time bank.
Yeah, I mean, Ursa's back onto the Genji after not getting any value out of the tactical visor. I would have liked to see, once again, this new strategy that has been sitting in challenges. We saw last week, the Talon strategy of Sombra and Reaper has been very good on these second points, having everyone unable to not opt in to taking massive damage out of the Death Blossom, but that's not what they want to do, and Ursa still has a long way to go on his ultimate.
Back up onto the high ground here is Mighty AOD, but they're still losing members. Rascal finds DM for a little bit more. Just poke out where he can. Has the Dragon Blade ready to go, so Mighty's still going to have a lot of trouble pushing forward. Still haven't even gotten that first tick. It's just a minute on the clock.
It just feels like the best case scenario is the classic 6-ult versus 6-ult situation, because Kongdu Panthera very, very close to that. Pulse Bomb will be up in just a jiffy, and Waka Waka very close to the Transcendence, so it's going to take some brilliance. And DM has had quite a bit this game.
Yeah, he's sneaking around yet again, throws at the Pulse Bomb. Will he find anything? No, not this time. Cannot get the kill in on the Waka Waka. And yeah, Fate goes down. Thorncut popped out of the back to tank you front line.
They need to all jump off right now. They need to respawn. They're going to have one attack in overtime. That's the best case scenario for Mighty.
And he staggers at this point. It's going to be very damning for them.
You got to get the heck out of dodge. Nowhere near anyone chasing you down.
4 to 6 in ultimates.
Yep. I mean, DMs, that will probably come up during the course of a fight, but
if Thorncut can, kill multiple people with a self-destruct, that's probably going to be their best bet. DM looking for the opening yet again here. Biotic Grenade does get forced out by Luffy to keep himself alive. It's going to be the push forward coming through, but already Sleep's been taken out. Rascal now drawing out the Dragon Blade with the Nano Boost on top of it. Looking for a bit more. Won't quite be able to find, but still can poke out. But Mighty AOD, 3 members already taken out as Rascal rejoins the fight. Self-destruct tossed out here from the side of Mighty. Won't find a damn thing forward. Swordcut did get taken out by Birdring. and they're just going to go ahead and clean up house. Hongdu Panthera taking Hanamura for themselves.
Yeah, they pick it up. Again, we're in a weird spot when it comes to hype because the large implications of this match are already gone, but Hongdu Panthera, good in the defense. Rascal on the Genji, something new for this season. It only really played it for maybe one and a half rounds previously. Brings it back. We knew he could play it. Very flexible DPS player. His most played hero is Tracer at 28% of game time, which lets you know that he does frequently swap around. He was the star on defense. You can see him smiling on his screen, feeling good that his KDA, I guess KD, has gone up. And yeah, Hongdu Panthera, one map away from icing out the group stage and starting the planning process for Group B.
Yeah, very good sign from them. The attack, still a lot to be desired. Mostly not running the triple support, but the defense has come through for them.
Funny how they're really good on offense, on hybrid, and also escort. Bit questionable on defense. But you throw them on attack on 2-point capture, and they just can't help themselves. 3 supports are AFK.
Yeah, attack assault just not really their forte.
No, apparently not.
But lucky for them, it's an escort map coming up next, so they can excel with that. Offense.
What do you call an attack assault support group? You call it AA?
Sure.
Maybe AAA, Attack Assault Anonymous.
AAA?
Yeah, it's AAA.
All right. That's a towing service back in the United States.
I wouldn't know that. I'm Australian, mate.
All right. Well, Dorado. Here we go. They need a towing service. They need to get the payload moving.
That's true. Got to get it bumping.
We'll see if they can do just that here. Do not have a win on Dorado this season here. Hongdu Panthera.
Hongdu Panthera could look to put Rascal on Farah on offense. One of the options you have here. Could also see Zarya on point A. Actually gets a lot of value usually on this map as well. Hasn't been a big pick for either team. Could be the last map of the season here for Mighty AOD. Expecting it given just how the season has gone and where the hype levels are here. More Overwatch, I can't complain.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we will get taken to that fabled 5th match here by Mighty AOD if they can pick up the win on the Dorado. Let's go ahead and find out as we jump in for our 4th map. We'll see if Hongdu Panthera can close this out right here, right now.
I get it.
All right, well, the fans still hanging in there. Hongdu Pantheras, they're definitely hitting that shrillness that we usually hear from Lunatic Eye.
We might need to group them with Lunatic Eye fans, Achilles.
Oh, I don't know if we can. I don't know what happens if we combine them. It sounds like that's just asking for a nuclear reaction.
Yeah, if we have any sort of tag team matches where you have like 2 squads mixing up, the Hongdu Panthera Lunatic High squad would be scary.
Absolutely terrifying, in fact. But starting things off here on the defense, Mighty AOD going to have a very strong one so far. Just going to be opting into that 2-2-2.
It is ruining this first point here. No one's in the mood for a party at all.
Just destroying this market.
Pinata destroyed. I saw a large monkey punch a guitar.
This is the livelihood of those vendors, man. They're just throwing all their goods around.
No one ever talks about the vendors in Dorado.
No.
They have to pick up the pieces after all this atrocity.
This is why Overwatch is banned.
That's true.
Now there's a bunch of illegal vigilantes running around.
Well, I'm ready to see 12 vigilantes fight each other just momentarily. Hongdu Panthera on attack. I spy with my little eye a Mercy, but no Farah this time. It's going to be very much about getting the Genji through the first ultimate, you'd have to think, but also getting Birdring some picks.
Yeah. So far, shots have been raining through. Hasn't really found any targets yet. Yeah, we'll finally go ahead and spot him out. Not receiving the boost at the moment. There's people that need to be healed, so he's all on his own.
This is good for Mighty AOD. They know that they're contesting the cart, but they're not actually giving sight lines.
Oh, there's
a sight line.
Yeah, nice little pop-up from Birdring. Comes with the kill, finds DM as well. And Mighty AOD, they're just going to get dismantled on this first little push from the side of Hongdu Panthera. So Birdring didn't find it on Hanamura, but he's got the shots on Dorado.
Oh, he definitely had the shots. The Hanamura one was effective, if not headshots this time.
It's just a warm-up.
That's true. We won't talk about his other support Ana attempts.
We'll ignore that.
He's a Widowmaker, that's for sure.
All right, well, DM doing what he does best, trying to just kill Luffy. Go ahead, be kiting back before Seth will recall from him. Barrier doing a lot to mitigate that damage, pushing forward into the back line, but Erster's found his way in onto Birdring, getting rid of that Widowmaker. Doesn't even need the help of that Tracer this time around. DM finds him sticking onto Fisher, takes him out, so that's going to halt the push here. Going to Panthera, at least for the moment. Mighty AOD stopping him just in front of point A.
Yeah, Luffy was a bit too late. Could have been 2 there on the res, but didn't quite have enough ult percentage. So we'll just back away. Harder to get those opening picks this terrain. The same sightlines that there are the start of the push here on Dorado.
Plenty of ultimates to work with, though, Kong to Panthera, but they don't want to have to invest all of them just to get this point A cap, especially when they're already so close.
Transcendence is up for Kariv, so baiting that out would be massive for us. We're getting the sort of value we saw at the tail end of Hanamura, but easier said than done.
Yeah, let's get a couple shuriken hits off there, chunks him down quite a bit. Doesn't quite find that kill himself. Now goes low. Transcendence going to be answered here by Luffy, keeping him alive, topping him off. But Void's already been popped out of the mech. He will get taken out. And Erster with the Dragon Blade swipes his way through to finish off Kariv.
Waka Waka used the ult right at the start there just to bring back the Zenyatta, but it's gone down already. Feels like the swaps are going to start here for Kong to Panthera.
Now Rascal going really low, barely stays alive. Gets that right click in onto mid-air, takes him out, and now gets a melee hit onto Erster to finish off the enemy Genji. Should be able to get this pop out of the mech here on the Thorn Cut. Does so. Self-destruct comes through, however, so they have to go ahead and kite back, but no kills going to be found from it, nor from Voids.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go the way of Mighty AOD, but now it's more of a delay game. They're looking for respawns to stop the full cap on the first point here on Dorado. Some of the respawns come in now.
DM trying to buy some time here. There's going to be a leap forward here from Fate as well. The dash through from Rascal means that DM falls. Erster able to find Waka Waka, however, and now Kong to Panthera just getting swept under the rug. Birdring and Rascal, the only 2 surviving members, and as I say that, Birdring does go down, so 5 kills here for Mighty AOD, holding strong right in front of point A with just a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Mighty AOD almost got undone by the spawner's advantage on attack on the first point because they were winning in trades, but the respawns came due to the proximity, and you thought, oh, maybe a Kong to Panthera can do this. The Diva bought enough time on the payload. The respawns come in. The formation is strong, but now it's on Kong to Panthera and specifically Rascal to make this work.
Yeah, might have to invest a little bit more, but already both supports inside of Kong to Panthera have been taken out. Luffy and Waka Waka both taken down as Erster comes up with a double kill, and Fisher's going to fall suit. So, still Kong to Panthera suffering heavy losses with just 30 seconds left on the clock, and Rascal goes down, a big stagger here. And Mighty AOD, they're still looking for the full hold.
And you really have to compliment, they have not capitulated, even though they are no longer playing for any real stakes in the season. Started off well for Kong to Panthera. We were cawing and awing over the shots from Birdring, but since then they've been frustrated. The swaps have come in late, and there's still good tools from Mighty AOD to full hold.
But Erster, here he comes, has that Dragon Blade drawn out, already finds one on the Luffy. Can he get more? Looking for Birdring, can't quite get in range.
Single kill.
Has to sheath the blade, but still Rascal goes down.
With ult.
So a lot of the DPS here from Kong to Panthera has been neutered as Waka Waka, as he gets taken out. Void popped into the mech, will die. Birdring as well. It's all on Fisher and Luffy to try to keep the hopes alive as it's into overtime, but with them just getting picked off one after the other, it's going to be a full hold from Mighty AOD.
Full hold on Kong to Panthera is not something I predicted to say in this series against Mighty AOD. They kind of stuck onto the Genji, Widowmaker, and Mercy for a little too long, and then when they changed there, the rejiggering didn't really make a lot of sense either. Rascal had the ult for the final 2 team fights, but didn't really find a spot to use it and died both times with that ult available. So feels like Kong to Panthera is going to lose the second map very quickly. It'd be insane to see a second and better full hold occur, and we might actually have a best of one, a hybrid map to decide the whole series.
What a way that this set's going already. I mean, we thought coming into this, the 3-0 perhaps for Kong to Panthera, very swiftly going into what is likely going to be one of the closest matches that we've ever had of MVP space and con box. But Mighty AOD, they're ready to go the distance and take this to 5 maps.
I mean, the last thing you'd expect in a series where one team needs to 3-0 is a seesaw. You expect it to be pretty one-sided, one way or the other. If the first map went to Kong to Panthera, everyone would be like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Mighty AOD were wrestled back by Kong to Panthera. Their next hopes were dashed, but they still are very serious about picking up a match win in the group stages. Will be the last time we see them, almost certainly, till they play in the promotions, and they want to leave the fans, who have been very low, who have been very loud and vocal, with an impression.
Certainly making one right now. See what they want to stick with as the clock ticks down, but for now, Kong to Panthera coming out with that triple tank with Rascal on May. With only 15 seconds left to swap, this should be what we see starting. So they are, going all in on this full hold. No triple support, but we'll have Rascal backing them up, freezing up these DPS members of Mighty AOD.
Yeah, seeing the support May is something we haven't seen since Season 2. Teams have largely abandoned her. Thought it would be the ult nerf, but it wasn't. It was very much about the meta really favoring dive that she can definitely struggle against. With the information, no need to be running the Widowmaker, because there's no easy picks when you have these high health meat shields on the side of Kongdu Panthera, so the quick adaptation from Mighty AOD.
Yeah, Sleep just looking for an opening shot.
You have to give up a lot of free meterage when you go for triple tank, but feels like we're back in Season 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, especially with this Reinhardt, need to play in the choke. Ice wall comes down here. Rascal trying to isolate a couple members here. So far, working out pretty well as they do finish off Fade. Tries to get the freeze in on the Thorn Cut. Can't quite get it to finish him off, but just building up towards that Blizzard as best as possible.
And one of the reasons why this strategy was so effective on maps like Dorado was that these AoE ultimates that are provided by the Mei, by the Roadhog. Diva, of course, will always be in the comp, has AoE herself, and the ultimate on the Reinhardt, you can actually single ult hold a point and thus just meter out an ult for a push, and full hold. So Kongdu Panthera bringing back an old strategy, but I like the time they're choosing to do it.
Yeah. Already a couple ultimates available. Urster with the Dragon Blade going to be one of them. See that Transcendence coming down, keeping it all topped up as he slices his way through, and Lumpy and Waka Waka will both go down. Kongdu Panthera already losing their supports. Earthshatter thrown down by Fisher. Tosses out the Flame Strike, but he's still going to get taken out right off the bat. Rascal desperately trying to buy some time here. Has the Blizzard thrown down, trying to pop Thorn Cut out of this mech, but Urster swipes his way through, and just like that, Mighty AOD will be taking us to Game 5.
Yeah, you just complement a strategy, but forget the fact that, hey, the Transcendence built up super fast when there are free hits, so clearly the shield had dropped a couple of times, and just 2 ultimates. Triple Tank was originally taken down by Dive, and the Dive holds strong. They really needed to turn the fight with a single ult use, but it was opened up by the attacking team, and predictably, when you don't have much to defend, when you are trying for the full hold, they tried an out-of-the-box strategy. It failed. An easy push in the end for Mighty AOD, and against all expectation, we're going to map 5.
Really surprising here. Mighty AOD, they want to go out with a bang. They want that victory under their belts, and really, this is just going to be shattering Kongdu Panthera mentally and really encouraging the other teams to pick them.
And that's the thing, every extra map that Kongdu Panthera is playing is going to be a psychological disadvantage to them. We already saw that after dropping map 1, they went straight into the tactical pause to try to rally the troops, which worked. They were able to pick up the map that got them to qualify for the next round. But suddenly, they have to play for a series they thought was going to be over when we went into our first break.
I mean, they said 3-0 in the interview.
Eichenwald is the expected pick here. That's another map that they are strong in. They will go where they're strongest. They are serious about closing out this last match with a victory. They'll wonder and wonder, whatever the result, how this match went 5 maps.
How did we get here? Is the question. But Eichenwald, the last bastion of hope for Kongdu Panthera, to end the group stage with a victory. Mighty AOD looking more motivated than ever, despite not being able to make it out into the round of 8.
And if they win here, they don't necessarily limp over the line, but not much better. If they lose here, they're certainly limping into the next round.
Yeah, well, Eichenwald, like Nimbani, the other hybrid map that they have a victory on, so this is going to be comfort for the side of Kongdu Panthera. We'll see how the defense manages this time around. Let's go ahead, load up for our 5th and final map of this first set of the night. Kongdu Panthera versus Mighty AOD for the win.
I get it.
Here we go, audience in this one for the long haul, like us, like you guys watching back home. The series that we thought would be over 2 maps ago continues. on Eichenwald.
One of my favorite quirks of Korean fans is we all know about their cheers for their teams as the maps open. But whenever it gets to the 5th match of a best of 5, whether it's a final or just a best of 5 where the stakes right now are very limited, there's always the polite clap by both sides afterwards. The fans are just excited to see a high-stakes map, to see who will come away with the victory. And surprisingly, after 4 maps, it doesn't feel like we're any closer to really having the full information. And we're going back to Season 2 in another way, because guess what? Finally, the Torbjorn's getting a bit of reinforcement. Could have 2 shields here between the Reinhardt and the D.Va defense matrix, because, well, they're going to try and hold this point right at this high vantage point and try to get that Molten Core quickly.
Now we just need the Symmetra to really
Of course,
seal it all
Rascal's an
together.
Orisa player.
Why not?
He plays everything else.
Well, they have a Reinhardt and an Orisa on the defense to try to keep their
Let's talk about
Torbjorn
how they
alive.
have 2 shields and also a defense matrix for the Torbjorn turret. This should be the longest standing Torbjorn turret.
Well, before we really get into the action, just to refresh your memory, I have undone my next button, as Mighty did pick up the win on Dorado, so I'm keeping to it.
I thought that was just because you're really excited to see Orisa, Gilios.
I mean, I'm not ripping my shirt off.
Not yet.
We'll see about that one. Jump forward comes through from Fake, just trying to knock them off that high ground, but they're still holding firm. Double shields. That barrier on the right click here.
Torbjorn turret getting a lot of percentage, like you can see.
Yeah, and Erster going to be the first one to go down. Several members of Mighty AOD going very low. Fisher trying to get that fire strike out. Finally killing blow. Quite get it. DM's dashing away, trying to keep himself alive desperately here.
I mean, this seems like the sort of mad scientist stuff that Team Korea was doing way back when at the World Cup with their Sombra Torbjorn and Ana strategies.
Or like a Mighty, or a Meta Athena type game, but
they're giving away the first point in all the commotion.
First tick
of the checkpoint, sorry.
Just don't want to surrender that high ground, but here comes Thorncut trying to boop them all off. Does knock Fisher down to the ground. Scornorb comes through onto him. He's going to charge forward. Can't find the pan. Goes low, but
Fisher
manages to
just
stay
gets
alive.
out.
Yeah, and Thorncut on the side here. He will get popped out. He'll get taken down. The double boop from Void comes up with the kill. And Kongju Panthera just sweep their way right through Mighty AOD.
This innovative strategy all about keeping the Torbjorn turret up. It has not died, so I said it may be the longest lasting Torbjorn turret. I don't know how many maps we've seen where Torbjorn's turret never died.
I mean, this is the stuff that they probably didn't want to show going into the round of 8. This is the things that they wanted to keep secret. But
or they were just like, well, let's just do this. We'll never do this again. Who's to say?
Well, DM, can he find the big pulse bomb?
I mean, the big pulse bomb's killing the Torbjorn turret.
He throws it out, not going to get a damn thing for it.
He gets the Molten Core for it. He had to actually pop Molten Core to stop it going down.
All right, but still, go ahead, come up with 2 kills. Self-destruct, not going to find anything here. As Fate and Karif do go down, they find Fisher, but Sleep gets taken out, so no supports available for Mighty AOD. Thorncut will fall, so no tanks available. And they will just get halted yet again. Kongsu Panthera with this innovative comp. Really want to just go for this full hold on Eichenwald. Shut this out nice and cleanly.
Let's call it the Waka Waka Shuffle. That should be the name. Waka Waka has a great name. Shuffle goes with it for some reason. The Torbjorn turret, fear not, Apex fans, has lived for 2.5 minutes.
All right, well now, we have this power ultimate here from Rascal. Really just make sure they can rip through Earth Shatter as well as an Nano Boost, so plenty of tools available to Kongju Panthera. Let's see what they can get done. This is going to be Dragon Blade drawn out by Erster, but he gets taken out right off the bat. Fisher coming up with the kill and still has that Earth Shatter in the back pocket should he need to use it. Self-destruct thrown down by Thorncut, comes up with just a kill onto the Orisa ultimate and the turret. Won't find much more than that, and Sleep goes down, but Fate finally showing up off-screen. Primal Rage killing Luffy and Fisher. Could be the big opening here for Mighty AOD to try to get this first cap through. Second tick's already been accrued. They're starting to tick up as best as possible. Rascal will fall, and now it's all on Birdring. Big recall comes through, keeps himself alive, but gets taken out by DM in the end.
A couple of cleanup kills. The point will go over to the side of Mighty AOD, but you'd have to say when it comes to
pretty effective
amount of timeage there, the fact that a Torbjorn turret lived, what, 2 minutes 54 or so was just the tonic they needed to buy a lot of delay. And the castle phase is a very difficult one to push with a large time bank and nigh on impossible unless they really start to keep it going, because if there's a last second contest, there's a massive defender's advantage to Kongju Panthera.
Yeah. Very far away from the ultimates here.
Did not use the ultimate here. The Earth Shadow's still up. Boop down, though, is the
he's completely isolated. It's going to be the Discord Orb coming through. You can see Waka Waka desperately trying to stick on top of him to keep him alive, but won't be able to do so. And Birdring gets picked up off screen. Still suffering losses is Kongju Panthera. The payload's just going to keep on trucking for mighty AOD.
Yeah, really nice from Thorncut, booping off the Reinhardt. Contesting the top of the castle has always been a pretty standard thing, so it was done well as Waka Waka does get rid of the Diva.
Yeah, Rascal barely avoiding that stick. Himself alive and finishes off DM at the same time. As Kariv falls, so just sniping his way through. So finally, Kongju Panthera able to posture back forward and get control over this payload.
Still the spot right now. It's not the best defensively from Kongdu, so they'll back away. Allow a little bit of pushing to come through from mighty AOD when they do regroup.
It's only going to get worse when they get to the bridge.
And that's the thing, is the bridge onwards is just... Getting a single push on the bridge is one of those very rare things, like a double rainbow. You kind of have to smile about it whenever you see it. Kongdu Panthera just trying to use the terrain here.
Birdring looking for an opening here for this pole bomb. Drops down, looking for DM. Transcendence comes through. Tosses it out blindly, won't find a stick, won't find a kill. And Erster, in the meantime, is cleaning up house. Triple kill coming through with a loose Fisher. Only trading out Fate. Here is mighty AOD.
Yeah, some cleanup here from Erster. He got all those kills with the Dragon Blade available. But now we get the fateful question. Can they actually get in position here, Kongdu Panthera, to actually get off a serious contest? They do have the sound barrier to just open up. We're going to see the replay of the double kill. It's got in the back line.
Dashes through for another. And goodbye.
But in the mini screen, this should be the main story because we are going to see that final second contest. And Erster, he's in the back line.
Yeah, has the wraparound. Luffy looking for the sleep dart. Won't be able to find it. Comes up with the kill. Meanwhile, Waka Waka taken out by that self-destruct from Thorncut. And Kongju Panthera with Void and Fisher about to go down. That's going to be the team kill. That's going to be point B. 45 seconds yet again on the clock as they complete.
Yeah, Erster so great. DM and Erster have done a fantastic job of occupying the time of supports. It was largely DM. This time it's Erster. They finally do break through those castle doors, and for the first time in a long time, we're actually looking towards point C of Eichenwald.
Yeah, and they have him shoved all the way back into the spawn. Rebel comes through, mighty AOD. Several members stuck to this payload as they keep pushing. Just under 2 minutes now on the clock.
Birdring's jumped onto the Roadhog. That's the first true swap in a while.
All right, well, there's a really big stagger there onto Thorncut. You see mighty AOD, they don't want to play without that Diva, so they will go ahead and kite back behind the gate.
They still do have one serious push, you'd say, with a 1 minute 30 time bank while they're waiting for respawns, and then a potential overtime contest, but on this particular map, hard to pull off. Footsteps coming through the Tracer, looking for the Reinhardt.
Yeah, finds the stick, Fisher goes down. That's going to be a massive opening now for mighty AOD as they push for Transcendence being used as they go ahead and shove back the members of Kongju Panthera. Dragon Blade finds one for Erster, will get pooped to the side, won't get much more than that.
So the meterage is still happening, remember, they're keeping them in spawn, so they're getting so close to closing out Eichenwald.
The hook barely missing his bird ring, gets that nano boost coming through, but still just can't find much outside of killing the baby Diva. Nearly has the whole hog, but
issue though is when Diva's dead, they don't have the defense matrix, they don't have the zone tools, they have to back away. Their front line is so much more brittle.
But even so, to make it this far,
yeah, exactly,
already for mighty AOD is
I'm only talking
impressive.
In terms of finishing the map. As you say, finishing the map is a luxury. Pushing this far is already job well done by the side of mighty AOD.
Gets the stick yet again, won't quite find the kill this time. Fisher does stay alive.
Launches it.
Lost out. Can he find anything? No, not going to find the kill. And Birdring hops out that whole hog, just trying to shove them back as it's just 20 seconds remaining on the clock.
Still, that means the Diva ult will not be able to buy time, will not be able to buy positioning, and again, Kongju Panthera have to go back to the to the drawing board here, and mighty AOD, they've got a couple of ults. Can they find an innovative way to attack? Because right now it's looking tough.
DM really playing with fire here, nearly goes down, keeps himself alive. Now the sound barrier comes out from mighty AOD, keeping everybody topped off as best as they possibly can. Be Erster drawing out the Dragon Blade, comes up with one kill. On the Rasker Bird Ring does go down, only losing DM so far, who can rejoin the fight rather quickly. That's going to be the nano boost tossed in onto Fisher, looking for that Earth Shatter. Hasn't really been able to line it up quite yet. Might just have to use it only on the monkey. Throws it down, won't get anything for it. Yeah, Transcendence comes out, just going to be pushing around that Zenyatta, who keeps himself alive. And Waka Waka finished off by Thorncut as they desperately try to get this payload moving yet again. Just a few meters left to go. The cleanup finally coming through. Rascal here yet again, dashing his way for 3 kills. Rascal will fall. That's going to be the completion in overtime. Mighty AOD yet again showing up.
Yeah, full pushing Eichenwald. Now a very tall order for Kongdu Panthera, who kind of have the double whammy of showing a strategy on Eichenwald they would have much preferred to keep hidden. It was gimmicky, but it was very effective in really cutting down the time bank, so huge credit to Mighty AOD to be able to full push Eichenwald after only having a minute in the time bank after point A.
Impressive stuff. Erster, especially on his Genji, is just destroying Kongdu.
Here's a big statement. I feel like Erster and DM have been significantly better than Birdring and Rascal, which never sounds like it's going to be a thing that will happen reliably. We spent so much time fawning and praising Birdring and Rascal, and they've had their moments, but consistently, either DM or Erster solo has taken out the supports, and then the other one has done the work on the other part of the fight.
I mean, that's the thing. You go back to the interview that we saw at the beginning of the broadcast. There was a bit of bait and switch. They said, you know what, we're going to focus on the DPS of Kongdu Panthera. Take out Birdring and Rascal. But it's been all about going for Waka Waka, for Luffy, and Luffy especially. I don't even know how many times he's died during this set, but it's a high number.
And Waka Waka, recent convert, was of course a flex player previous to this season, jumping on the support, so maybe they thought they saw some weaknesses, and you cannot really question the fact that Waka Waka and Luffy kill death scores jump on Winston's lab after the match when we see the post-game scores. They're going to be hard reading for Kongdu Panthera fans. And let's see if Kongdu Panthera are going to show one new thing or just go super standard on the attack, because again, they've done what they set out to do, which was make it to the next round, but everything else is just going to be this bad feeling, you know, it's that bite at the back of your neck. It's that really bad taste after a nice meal, because they should be happy, but I'm going to hazard a guess that they're not particularly happy.
Definitely not. I mean, they showed us that new composition on defense. It was very strong, but everything fell apart after point A.
Ross are going to go for the very offensive loop around, which you can do at the pharmacy.
All the way around the back. The rest of the team kind of backing up here. He will go ahead, pop his head out, start firing away. Still not finding too much contact, though, with these rockets. Needs to build up that barrage very swiftly. Finally, as they get pushed into that chokehold.
Luffy's low, Luffy's dead.
Yeah, Luffy gets taken out yet again. Erster just isolating these supports, just snipes him right out of the sky with a dash. And comes up with a kill onto Birdring as well. And 4 members dead. Rascal nearly gone. That's just going to be the halt here on this push from Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah, that attacking strategy, looping around, is super strong against the old meta, which was the static defense with, say, a Reinhardt and a Soldier in the top room above point A, but against what is basically defensive dive with a Reinhardt on the side of Mighty AOD, wasn't going to find the same value on the shot, so they're going to go for the front door push this time.
Marty hailing down here, finds Karib. That's going to be a nice little start for the side of Kongdu Panthera. Can they find more? Barrage coming closer and closer. That's going to be the Earth Shadow thrown down. Finds 2. Yeah, Fisher and Void both getting knocked out, and the pin will take out the Winston.
There is the revive, though.
Sleep, that's going to be the sound barrier coming down. Keeps Sleep alive just the last second, but Fate can't say the same. Answered now by Kongdu Panthera, but Erster with the Dragon Blade goes high in the sky, takes out Rascal, looking for a bit more. The deflection not going to buy him too much ground when he's going up against the Winston. He will get taken out in the end. Pulse Bomb in onto Void, knocks him out of the mech as DM comes up with that one and also finishes off Luffy. But now it's just a bit of a scramble. Everybody all over the place as Mighty AOD desperately tries to hold on to the point. That first tick still has not come through for Kongdu.
Yeah, the Resurrect didn't get a lot of value, but now we see Rascal back on, fires out the barrage, gets just the Winston and then falls down, so not massive value there either. And Kongdu Panthera still continue to be frustrated.
Yeah, took a lot of self-damage as well there, Rascal, so just set himself up to be picked off very swiftly.
Yeah, but the respawns are a lot closer. Reinhardt
comes out. Can he find much? No, can't quite get Fate, but with Fisher jumping in, they will be able to finish him off now, trying to find Sleep. There's a fraction of HP left, does get taken down in the end. Fisher coming up with a double kill. See Karib zoned back into this room, can't quite get to his teammates to try to keep him alive. Biotic Grenade comes down, does force Birdring back for a little bit, but goes back in, finds the kill. And this finally should be Kongdu at least gaining some ground, maybe even that first tick on the point, if not the cap. Mighty AOD starting to get picked off one at a time.
Yeah, a lot of heroics from Birdring, dueling out the Ana, then the opposing Tracer. Finally, the respawn advantage gets them what they're looking for. They were never truly investing in the dive. Rascal actually jumped off the Farah onto Sombra right at the tail end of the point. They'll claim it, and ironically, with a pretty similar time bank to what Mighty AOD had.
Plus 30 seconds, 45 to minute 15, so not too bad, but
you
also...
definitely need to swap off the Sombra for the castle phase.
What are you talking about? She's the best. Sombra on the ramparts just...
Hey, that's our second match when we get Twilight, who's Sombra only.
This is true.
Or so it feels.
Turns out he's very good at
Oh, the Earth Shatter does hit Birdering. Nice.
Yeah, just kind of.
I don't know if it was worth, but it hit.
Yeah, Fate just comes up with a kill. The res will come through, though, so going to go ahead and undo everything that he did with that hit. Turns to the side, tries to get that fire strike in.
Whoa, what's going on here?
To get the hit, won't quite find it. DM gets taken out by Rascal with those Helix rockets, and a very ill-advised charge forward from Fate sends him to his doom.
Seems to be accepting his fate, but will mean some more meterage for Kongdu Panthera, as Doncut has had enough of this cruel castle phase.
And this could be a very long push forward here from the side of Kongdu Panthera.
And then you look at Mighty AOD, it's going to have to be the DPS ults getting a lot of value, because Sound Barrier is the only thing that's going to be complementing them. Winston and Diva both going to be quite a while away from having some space control tank ults.
Mercer's going to have another game-breaking Dragon Blade.
Been pretty good, been pretty on point in this series. He's definitely won the Genji battle.
Yeah. DM pushing forward, looking for a target for this pulse bomb. Doesn't need to use it to take out Luffy, but already loses 2 members on his team. Mercer now drawing out the Dragon Blade, finishes off Rascal, dashes through the air, finds Waka Waka, gets himself out to safety, making sure that self-destruct does not clip him. Well, dueling out with the Winston, but yet again, no real way to mitigate that damage coming out, so he will die, but Fisher gets taken out mid-air by DM at the end.
Yeah, pretty inconsequential given where the heroes were at. There was 2 on the point there from Mighty AOD, so no kiting away for the Winston. And the defense will continue. It's back on that fateful bridge, or at least approaching the bridge. We're going to see a replay of Fate.
Great prediction. I mean,
he
again,
definitely
probably not worth it, especially since the res came out immediately after, but...
Again, it was cool.
Yeah.
Whether it was the right use of Earth Shatter, that part I don't have the answer to, but it was sick.
It was a solo queue Earth Shatter.
Exactly.
So now up onto the high ground is Kongdu Panthera, trying to snipe out, trying to find a pick. So that can safely go down onto the low ground. Thorn's got so low. Good off screen, but they're trying to top him off as best as possible. Pulse bomb thrown down, not going to find anything, but Erster finds Waka Waka yet again. Now Luffy taken out by Fate with a lead. Means that no supports are available for the side of Kongdu Panthera. A 3 for 2. As they lose out, self-destruct thrown down here by Thorncut. Not going to find anybody with the explosion, but still just zones them off. And
Transcendence actually is invested by Karib, so they feel like with the support and peel advantage, they could make this push happen.
It's going to be the sound barrier answered here by Kongdu Panthera. DM throws out the pulse bomb, gets a little bit of damage in, but not going to find much. Actually taken out by Rascal as he rejoins the fight. Mighty AOD still playing very far forward up onto this payload. Going to stop it from rolling. It's just 45 seconds left on the clock, and it's still Kongdu Panthera having to go the distance. Sound barrier comes down, Thorncut very tanky here on the Diva, pushing forward, trying to get the kill in on the Luffy, and they should be able to get it. He does get taken out in the end, but they trade back onto the Winston.
And trading down this time, Kongdu Panthera is picking up the kills. It could still be a last-second contest. That's basically a team wipe on the side of Kongdu Panthera. Karib used his ultimate just to buy time, just to halt the cart. Has he bought enough time for them to actually contest? Because we're very close.
Thorncutt's waiting. He's going to have his self-destruct ready to go. Yeah, tosses this one out. Can he find anything? The barrier's thrown down by the Winston, but he still comes up with a kill in onto Waka Waka. But is that enough for Mighty AOD to maintain this hold? 4 minutes, or 4 meters, 2.29. All that they need to do, and Void still has a self-destruct of his own, goes forward, tries to take out Karib, gets him in the end, but they don't have it.
Void was off the point.
Mighty AOD, that's a C9 moment if I've ever seen one.
It
Mighty
was.
AOD defy odds. They do not qualify for the round of 8, but they go out of Apex Season 3 with a statement, a 3-2 victory over Kongdu Panthera.
And the communication, which felt like it was off a couple of times here for Kongdu Panthera this series, also escaped them right at the last. Fuel going down there to shut down the Zenyatta when the rest of his team had died. Couldn't contest the point. He had the ultimate there, the self-destruct, but didn't have a chance to use it. And it ends up being Kongdu Panthera for a second time. Their only 2 losses were 3-2 losses. They look a bit crestfallen. They did their job. They made it to the next round, but you really run out of nice things to say after that fact about Kongdu Panthera.
Yeah. Really well done by Mighty AOD.
We're going to see the replay here. So what happened was it was the Winston and Diva on the point. Diva saw the chance to rush down Zenyatta, but no one was telling him that, hey, there's no one else there. You need to be contesting the point. So really big communication failure from Kongdu Panthera.
An absolute breakdown, you'd have to say. So the Sailors will go on into the round of 8, but they're losing sight of the North Star. They don't have much to navigate them through these playoffs.
They won the race, but it feels like some of their own teammates were scuttling the ship as they got over the finishing line, which might be pretty relevant because we're getting to the high-stakes matches. There's very little easy wins when we get to the second group of teams.
Yeah. So even though they don't move forward, Mighty AOD still can feel very good about this victory.
And their fans came out in droves to support them today, were super loud, were singing happy birthday at the start of the show, and they gave their fans something to smile about. They will come into the promotion tournament in a really good spot when it comes to feel good, when it comes to prediction, because they showed a lot of character here to beat down Kongdu Panthera when they could easily have capitulated.
Yeah. I mean, this again, we assume that they will be in the placement tournament. We're not quite
Some of those
sure on that
specifics
one.
are a bit up in the air.
Yeah, we'll find that one out down the line when we find out some more information about, the prospects of the Season 4 of Apex. But for now, Mighty AOD, even if there is a promotion tournament, they have to be very confident moving into that. So fantastically played by them. Kongdu Panthera, that's going to be one hell of a VOD review session for these guys.
I mean, we just saw on the first few maps some of their weaknesses, specifically their ability to defend on hybrid, and then some of their attacks on two-point capture on assault also left a lot to be desired. Now, they went back to a strategy that didn't work before, so you might think, are they just trying to show that it does work, or are they just trying to hide strategies? Then they showed us a new